Dabo Swinney standing by with Lisa Salters.
Thank you, Mike. Dabo, well, you have said for too long the Clemson football program has been wandering in the wilderness. Now you've wandered into the Orange Bowl. What does this moment right now mean to you?
Well, 3 years ago when I got this job, we started a journey to try to get this program to the BCS. So it's a great step. We're up and walking. We got to go finish tonight.
You've also said that this ain't going to be a 6-3 game. What kind of game are you expecting tonight?
Well, I don't think it'll be 6-3, but hopefully it'll be a defensive game. Hopefully when this thing's over, people are going to be talking about the Clemson defense. That's what I'm hoping.
Thank you very much. Good luck, Coach. Mike?
Yeah, and hopefully it'll be like the other BCS games. They've been tight and taut and pretty special. Dana Holgerson on the other side as well. We're all set. This has been the Nissan pregame shift. And there's the Mountaineers head coach. First year as a head coach, as Jaws said, at any level. And he takes his team to the conference championship. Could very well be the last game that West Virginia plays as a member of the Big East. We'll discuss that as the game goes on. West Virginia won the toss, deferred the option to the second half. So Tyler Bittencourt ready to kick it. Jerron Brown joins Sammy Watkins, the explosive number 2, back for Clemson. Off we go with the 2012 Discover Orange Bowl. They want to keep it out of the hands of Watkins, too. One problem, it goes out of bounds, and our Big Ten officiating crew and David Whitman will tell us about the good field position for Clemson's offense right out of the gate. So Clemson will take it over Jaws the 40 and bring out Taj Boyd.
And Taj Boyd has really matured as a player and as a leader of this Clemson offense. He saved his best performance for the ACC championship game against Virginia Tech when he was voted the game's most valuable player. He can make plays with his legs as well as his arm.
First team all-conference out of Hampton, Virginia. Brings Andre Ellington back behind him, 1,000-yard back. Ellington slips and falls. And he's shy of the line of scrimmage. Will Clark up there for the West Virginia defense. One thing we'll be watching is the pace, guys, both teams.
No huddle offense. You'll rarely see Clemson come out of a conventional huddle and look for all kind of different formations, especially early.
Watkins in motion in the hands of the freshman Watkins, and a great open field tackle by the second team all Big East safety Ian Smith for the Mountaineers. Third down coming up.
That's what you have to do against these spread offenses. You must be able to make one-on-one open field tackles. That time the veteran safety Smith does an excellent job.
Well, you'll be watching tempo football tonight, folks.
On 3rd and 8, Boyd. Nobody open at first, and now coming across the middle, but dropping is Jaron Brown. So the junior Brown couldn't hold on to a good pass by Boyd. 3 and out Clemson.
Beautiful protection by the Clemson offensive line. Taj Boyd had outstanding protection. Look at him just hang in the pocket, survey the field. All of a sudden he sees Brown open the middle field. He just flat out dropped it. That would have been a first down for Clemson.
Get to his body, couldn't bring it in. Dawson Zimmerman, the punter, the senior. Outstanding student athlete. Devon Brown back for the Mountaineers. And a lot of hang time. Fair caught by Brown at the 22. That's been a story with West Virginia throughout the end of the season. Tavon Austin, spectacular return man, has made some poor decisions on catching punts. All right, Coach Gruden, what do you have here on number 12, Geno Smith, the quarterback for the Mountaineers?
Well, Geno Smith has prototype size. He has all the numbers. First team all Big East, 2-year starter. This is a shotgun, no huddle, throw it a lot offense. West Virginia has struggled early in football games. They need to get Smith going quickly against a team like Clemson.
Because of an injury to Dustin Garrison, Sean Alston figures to carry it the most in terms of running backs. So they'll get other people involved, like Tavon Austin, sweeping from the left to the right for a first down to the 34-yard line.
Defensive coordinator Kevin Steele starts the game with boundary pressure, and West Virginia has the right play called. You're going to see a blitz coming off the boundary, and the Jets sweep to the wide side of the field away from the blitz. Good call by West Virginia.
Austin, no stranger to running the ball, guys. That's his 14th run on the season. Andre Bowie joins Alston in the backfield. That's who Smith moved out. His pass is complete. That's Alston again to the 41-yard line. So a good start offensively for West Virginia.
You'll see Tavon Austin work inside. He's a guy they love to go to between the numbers. He's quick, he's fast, he's smart, and he loves to have the football in his hands.
After the gain of 7 out of the pistol, here comes Sean Alston. Able to bounce off a would-be tackle, get close to the first down mark. It's a great opportunity for the tackle by Andre Branch, the defensive end, but he didn't make it.
Look at head coach Dana Holgerson. The communication of this West Virginia offense is just different. They can create all kinds of different formations, even though they're in the no-huddle offense, and they're going to really lean on number 20, Sean Alston, to give him some running game tonight.
Wilson calls the plays, orchestrating this offense that he has worked with over the years, disciple of Mike Leach at Texas Tech and most recently Houston and Oklahoma State. An inside run for Alston. Gains about 4 yards. Xavier Brewer with the stop for Clemson. So the freshman Dustin Garrison did most of the carrying, but down here in Florida back on Friday, injury to the MCL and the ligament injury is going to keep him out for a few months, perhaps through spring ball. So that took their main run threat away, and that means it's going to be a rotating and a different cast of backs for West Virginia tonight. Bernard Roberts, who ran it well early in the year, a freshman, he's out for academic reasons tonight.
I like the fact that Geno Smith is checking this play at the line of scrimmage. Outstanding awareness.
It's the 4-man rush, good pocket, good time, and good coverage on the back end. Mountaineer fans want a flag. Cody Sensabaugh over there in coverage.
Cody Sensabaugh has some NFL measurables. A very fast Clemson Tiger. He's played more snaps than any Clemson Tiger on defense in Tiger history. Here he is in press coverage. He's getting up right in the grill of these West Virginia Mountaineer wide receivers. Big third down.
Third and 6, they move with Austin. Smith looks the other side, now pulls it down, had a man open, but couldn't get to it in time. And the pass was incomplete, intended for Devon Brown, because Corrico Hawkins was coming in with pressure.
Yeah, clearly Brown was open on that flag route, but Geno Smith just felt the pressure in the pocket, had to unload the football, took him out of bounds, incomplete.
And Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator at Clemson, does a nice job with good disguises in his secondary on third down. Big get off by Clemson's defense.
Corey Smith from Bunker Hill, West Virginia, trying to pin the Tigers in deep. Get away from DeAndre Hopkins. And it'll be 96 yards afield for Taj Boyd and the Tigers on the other side. 46 yards. The street address is Sun Life Stadium in honor of the great Dolphins coach and the number of wins he had in his career.
Taj Boyd, as I stated earlier, an outstanding quarterback that can make plays with his legs. He's going to need to make one down here with 96 yards to go.
Starting from the 4, going to run Ellington, and he will use a yard or 2. Najee Good, first team all Big East, joins Jared Barber on the stop.
Najee Good can play any position on this West Virginia defense. He's played middle backer, weak side backer, strong side backer. Wherever they need him to play, he plays and plays well. And he's going to have to play the game of his life tonight against his spread system.
And his dad was my tight end with the Philadelphia Eagles in 1985, John.
Boyd out of his own end zone, throws complete. Here's the first connection for a first down tonight. DeAndre Hopkins, Nuke gets a first down.
Just a little spot route. You're going to see Hopkins set down right behind the linebacker against his own defense. Ball thrown perfectly. Get north and south after you catch it. That's the key to yards after the catch against his own defense. No wasted motion.
On a first down, all the action with Watkins. It changes your eyes, and Ellington comes up the middle shy of the 20. Chad Morris, 16 years, was a high school coach, has the full autonomy to run the offense. He was at Tulsa last year, his first year in college football. This year, big impact at Clemson, 33.5 points per game.
Boy, Mike, I was impressed with their practices. They are sharp and quick.
There's Boyd to the All-American tight end, Dwayne Allen, who was hit high and hard by Darwin Cook, but a first down at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, well, it helps when you're an offensive coordinator and you have the John Mackey Award winner and Dwayne Allen. Again, good zone awareness. And Dwayne Allen, you're going to see line up in a lot of positions. It all starts with Dwayne Allen in this offense.
After the gain of 15, here's Boyd. Got rid of it in time, and in and out of the hands of Brown again.
Well, that's the second one for Brown. He's got to come up with these catches. Boyd does a nice job with pocket mobility, finding some grass to throw the football, but Brown, that's a second drop already. 2 possessions for Clemson.
You see Dabo Sweeney. He's an ex-wide receiver coach, ex-wide receiver himself. He knows what he's talking about. You got to catch the football in big games and in any game.
It brings Sharon Peak, the freshman, in for Clemson. Here's Ellington up the middle, breaking free, one man to beat. Andre Ellington, gonna go the distance. Touchdown, Tigers. Touchdown number 11 on the season, a 96-yard drive capped by the junior Ellington.
Hard offense to stop.
Well, you can see that 4.4 speed of Andre Ellington exploded through the hole. Nobody's going to catch him.
Chandler Catanzaro adds the extra point. And the second team All-ACC running back scores the first points of this Discover Orange Bowl. Maybe breaks the seal on what might be a high-scoring affair. Untouched and all the way home. Clemson scores first. A drive 2 for the Mountaineers. Chandler Catanzaro, second team All-ACC kicker. Tavon Austin back along with Devon Brown. It's Austin from the 18. Seeking space, going to go down shy of the 30. Spencer Shuey makes the tackle. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Well, these Mountaineers told us they're going to blitz Taj Boyd and put pressure on him. We are going to blitz the quarterback. And you're going to see a field blitz coming right here from West Virginia. But you have to take care of the running game as well. That time, West Virginia fails to shut down their gaps properly. Clemson has a number of players that can hit home runs. Ellington just did.
Dwayne Allen, the tight end you guys were talking about earlier, one of the nice blocks to help spring the running back. Geno Smith will run it with Sean Alston. And Alston, the junior from Hampton, Virginia, takes it to the 33. Andre Branch made the tackle.
That Andre Branch, he can cover grass. That time, he chased that play down on the backside. He's an impressive football player. Every film you pick up is the same. High energy, a lot of production.
Todd McShay has him 11th in his early evaluations. One of the top players in the country, senior. Smith, everything was covered left, so Geno using his wheels. And gets out right near the first down marker. Just going to be, let's see the mark, might be right on it. Yeah, looks like he got a first down on the scramble by Smith.
Boy, as I watch Geno Smith, the nice thing is he's looking for the read downfield. The pocket collapses. Reminded me of my old teammate, number 12 with the Eagles, Randall Cunningham. Got those big, long legs, gets outside the pocket, and he's a smart quarterback. Get out of bounds, don't take the hit.
6'3", playing in the shadow of his old hometown. Pass incomplete. Way over the head of Tavon Austin. Martin Jenkins was coming in with pressure from the edge. If you haven't heard the story in the lead-up to this game, Geno Smith went to Miramar High School, not too far from here. It was right back at his high school. He could see from there the big screens here in this stadium. Matter of fact, when the Colts won their Super Bowl here against the Bears, he remembers watching those big screens to see Peyton Manning play in the Super Bowl from his front yard. So he's really experiencing a home game here tonight.
And you see West Virginia in a huddle. And Kevin Steele told us eventually the game will slow down. And when it does, we'll be able to get some of our exotic calls in. I'd be surprised if Clemson doesn't heat up Geno Smith here.
That means you're going to get one-on-one on the outside, John. You got to take your shots with this receiving play.
It's a second down. Smith middle, going to be caught. Devon Brown racing to the 30. And tied up there, 32 first down yards for the redshirt senior who played at Wake Forest for 4 years, now getting his master's degree here in West Virginia. And here go the Mountaineers right to the line.
And if you're going to get those pressures, you're going to get one-on-ones to the backside of the defense. And here it comes, Devon Brown. Good throw by Geno Smith on the money. Explosive play.
Andrew Bowie comes left, gains a couple of yards. This is the area that they really like to increase the tempo if the West Virginia offense.
And they put a lot more on their quarterback. They let Geno Smith call a few plays. The closer this ball gets towards the goal line, and play calling gets tougher the closer you get in this red zone. You can see right now West Virginia's coming out of the huddle, but it might be a speed tempo out of the huddle as well.
Also, John, that far hash, that hash close to the West Virginia sideline, they can substitute a lot quicker than Clemson can.
Smith getting it out of his hands. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Was Bowie marked down? He keeps going. There's no whistle. Bowie made a play, if it stands up, similar to the national championship game last year with Auburn.
Yeah, Rashard Hall thinks he makes a great play here.
If he comes down on Hall and no body part hits the ground, he can keep going. Wow. The hand doesn't count, so you watch here. And it looks like no body part came down, and he kept his balance, so it's a first down, and now it's stopped from upstairs. That's a good move by Tom Herbert, the replay official. Dabo Swinney in conversation with David Woodford.
Frustrating by Rashard Hall. He makes a great break and drive and a good tackle, but I think Bowie is going to be legal here, Mike. Watch for yourselves at home. It's a good open field wrap tackle, and I think Bowie falls on Hall. What a play by the freshman.
Take a peek at it in replay during this timeout. Ruling is confirmed correct on the field. In addition to the great play by the back, I also want to give credit to the line judge, Dave Chesney, on that side. He did not call that down. He was watching the play, not anticipating the typical result of the action. And it's 1st and goal for West Virginia, knocking on the door of a game-tying touchdown.
Attaboy, Mike. Give some love to those officials out there.
Yeah, Mike.
Sean Alston is the back. There goes Tavon Austin, who takes it from Smith. Trying to get to the edge. Tavon Austin smelling the goal line, but he slipped and fell inside the 5 to 4. It'll be 2nd and goal.
That's all Tavon Austin. Just sudden stop and start quickness. I thought they had him dead in the water, but you see the instant acceleration of Tavon Austin. Done it all year for the Mountaineers.
Sean Alston, sometimes they call him Sean Allstott, or Mike Allstott from the NFL. Good back, powering inside the 5, breaking through tackles. Out of the pistol, he's got it. He's got the middle. He's got a touchdown, Mountaineers.
That was Allstott-like, but it's Alston for the West Virginia touchdown.
What a great block on the backside by number 57, left guard Jeff Braun. Watch this cutoff block on the backside by number 57 that allows the cutback to happen. That's rare that you see a walk-in touchdown, and Sean Alston, he's done that a lot this year.
Tyler Bittenkirk knocks home the extra point. So it takes 2 minutes and 39 seconds for West Virginia to respond. The light bulb's ready on the scoreboard. 2 high-scoring teams over 30 a game. Each scored a touchdown in their second drive. Get in gear. These teams look sharp in that second drive. Corey Smith kicks it. See if he tries to keep it short of Sammy. No, Watkins going to run up and get it at the 15. Look out, one seam to the left, but a good angle taken, and Watkins will be escorted to the sideline, the 38-yard line by Ian Smith. And speaking of the All-State on your ESPN radio station, looking forward to the championship game, the rematch. Fake it to Ellington, throw it to Watkins on the edge, got a block from Sharon Peak. And a first down for Sammy Watkins, a gain of 12.
I love this kid, Sammy Watkins. Get him the football on the edge. You'll see the initial play action. Watch him, just a little bubble screen to the outside. Get the block inside. Look at the quickness and acceleration. This kid loves to play football.
From midfield, Ellington comes left. Julian Miller out of Columbus, Ohio, makes the tackle.
This Clemson offense, every one of these running plays, they have a built-in screen, and Sammy Watkins is just standing outside waiting for the football if the box is loaded. Pick your poison. You want to stop Ellington in the running game, or you want to defend Watkins on the outside?
Boyd looking Watkins' way, and he's covered there, blanketed by Keith Tandy. Very good corner for the Mountaineers. First team all Big East.
Well, when you play against Sammy Watkins, you have to know where he is at all times. And this time you see the corner rotate, and as Sammy releases to the outside, there's a safety breaking right with him. You have to give special attention to special players. Nice job by West Virginia. And if they keep playing that way, Clemson's got to continue to run the ball right at the Mountaineers.
This is 3rd down and 6 for Taj Boyd and the Tigers. They need to get to the 41. Boyd out of his hands quick for DeAndre Hopkins, who holds on, makes the catch, and it's a first down for Clemson.
What a fantastic catch by DeAndre Hopkins. The ball and the defender arrived at the same time. This is when you have to have strong hands. Top of your screen. Watch Hopkins come in there and grab that ball just as Keith Tandy comes in to make the hit. Holds on to it. Tremendous effort.
Brandon Ford, Jr. is the man in motion as Boyd goes back. Over the top, Boyd, in and out of the hands of the first-team All-American tight end, Dwayne Allen.
Boy, they love to run these wheel routes with Sammy Watkins flying down the boundary, and they try to get their All-American tight end, Dwayne Allen, right down the seam. That time well defended by the Mountaineers. I'm tired, Ron. This is no huddle.
This is some tempo.
Watch these teams all year, 33, 34 points a game. This is how they do it. Boyd kept the play alive. It is incomplete, ruled an incomplete pass as Bruce Irvin was pressuring, and Sammy Watkins was the intended receiver.
That's what we're talking about, Mike. Boyd has about 4 options on every one of these plays. He can hand it off, and if he keeps it, he has the option to run it, pitch it. That time he got a little bit indecisive, but they asked this quarterback to do a lot from a decision-making standpoint on every down.
It's 3rd and 10. Irvin was trying to get in the pass to the sideline, caught by Hopkins, but marked short of the first down. So it's 4th and 1.
Once again, Mike, DeAndre Hopkins, a terrific catch on a ball thrown away to the sideline. That's where the ball must be placed by Boyd. Low and away, Hopkins comes up with a big catch, just a little short of the first down.
An important injury for Clemson. Their left tackle, Philip Price, the senior, who was a walk-on tight end. A long-armed young man who really has emerged and has kept this job throughout the year. Had an MCL problem, ligament problem, in that knee, in a knee, I should say, back in November. Has to come off, and it's 4th and a yard right now as David Smith comes in to replace him for the moment.
Yeah, they're going to miss Price on this play. He's a tough, nasty left tackle that road rage people.
We're going to guy Smith, who has 18 career starts. Need a little more than a yard. To Watkins, kept by Boyd, fights through the tackle of Jared Barber and gets the Clemson first down.
Well, the lower body strength of Boyd shows up here in these situations. You're going to see Sammy Watkins come underneath the formation as a diversionary, and Boyd keeps it himself. A lot like Cam Newton used to do for Auburn in short yardage.
It's down for Boyd, middle shot. Watkins In there. Sammy, touchdown, Tigers.
Sammy Watkins just can't stop this guy if you give the quarterback Taj Boyd that kind of time. You saw Watkins open the middle of the field. He finds grass nicely. And once he catches the football, this guy explodes, John.
Extra point added by Catanzaro. 3 touchdowns in less than 5 minutes.
Well, you come right out of a 4th and 1, and right away after the first down, Clemson jumps the football, top of your screen. Watch Watkins break underneath Allen, catch this square in, the safety falls down. You make one mistake, like number 24, Ian Smith did right there, it's to the house. Great players make you pay dearly. Nice drive by Clemson.
Hard to believe that young man, Sammy Watkins, a true freshman.
Doesn't look like it.
He looks like Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, this guy's got amazing talent.
You know, Clemson is playing a lot of freshmen, Mike. They have more freshmen on this roster than any team in a big bowl game I've ever seen. And, man, are they good-looking young guys.
42 of their 84 scholarship players are either freshmen or redshirt freshmen. The future looks bright at Clemson.
How do you know all these things, Ron?
I read all the media guides and stuff, John. I get to sit in my hotel room like, you know, you're doing games, I'm hanging out studying.
That's what he's doing at the pool while we were doing the Outback Bowl the other day, right? Here comes Tavon Austin, who's brought back 2 kicks for a touchdown this year. Austin still on his feet. Out to the 43-yard line. 36 on the return.
Man, this is football. Woo!
Well, Austin's an All-American. Returning kicks. He's taking a couple back to the house. Here he is, setting the return to the left side, bouncing it back to the right. Very decisive and an explosive physical finisher for a 5'9", 185-pound man. Fearless, outstanding return man. Tavon Austin.
Sammy Watkins was the first-team AP All-American in terms of all-purpose. Tavon Austin was third-team. There's supreme talents on display here tonight. Back to Geno Smith. He's looking for the seam. It's open in the middle again. It's Willie Millhouse. He's down to the 22-yard line. That's only a gain of 35.
Nobody covered him. Bunch formation, they come out of the stack and they spray in different directions, and you're going to see number 85 come right down the seam. They blew the coverage.
Linebackers just got sucked up, John, by the play action. Big holes in that secondary.
After the 23, it's Smith. Taking an end zone shot, incomplete, intended for Devon Brown. He's got a couple of catches on the night. 2 guys back-to-back. Brown, the intended receiver there, was at Wake Forest for 4 years, graduated, came to West Virginia, able to come over because they had a program at the graduate level that Wake did not offer, journalism, so he's here. And Willie Millhouse, who we just saw catch a moment ago, he went to Duquesne for 3 years, playing at the FCS level. Sat out a year and now playing his last eligibility season at West Virginia.
That's amazing.
There's some unique stories make up this Mountaineer offense that scores 35 a game. Sean Alston left. One of the big defensive guys says enough is enough, or any more brings him down. Gain of a couple.
Well, look, this Clemson defensive line, they have to pick it up. This is the most experienced defensive line, I think, in the ACC. They have to get off blocks, stop the running game, and they better start getting pressure on Geno Smith, or it's going to be a long night.
Sneaking a substitution on 3rd and 7, and Smith takes off. Moving around to the left, trying to get to the marker. Geno Smith outrunning Andre Branch, and the spot's going to give it to him at the 12, 1st and 10, WVU.
Boy, not often enough do we talk about the vision of the quarterback. Geno Smith looking down the field, nothing there. Now he sees backside. He seems avoiding the defense. Nothing but green grass. And look at him get out of bounds, and he's all fired up. I think it's getting a little nasty down there. Getting a little nasty right now. call that good football, don't we, John?
Well, you compare Geno Smith to Joe Namath and Randall Cunningham already. You might be right. He did look like Starship 12 of the Eagles there.
Timeout taken by Clemson as they try to stop the bleeding here on defense for a moment. Well, we know we have the All-State BCS through the other platforms as well. Well, Dana Holgorsen, this is his third school in 3 years. He brings this offense that he kind of learned as he was a receiver for Hal Mumme. Remember Hal Mumme, the Kentucky coach? And then Mumme had as his assistant Mike Leach. Leach went to Texas Tech, brought Holgorsen on as a full-time assistant there. Dana was there for 8 years. Then to Houston for 2. We know the success of Case Keenum, Brandon Wheaton, Oklahoma State last year, and now he went from coaching waiting to head coach of the Mountaineers during the offseason. The slant brought in by Ivan McCartney, who also, like Stedman Bailey, went to high school with Geno Smith here in Florida.
Breeland's giving a big cushion out there to McCartney. Just take advantage of it. Throw those quick slants. You get up in press position, make that slant, go over the top.
2nd and 6. Austin takes it quickly from Smith, seeking the pylon. Austin dives. Touchdown! Tavon Austin just trying to get it in by the pylon. We have to watch a couple of things. Was he out of bounds, and did he have control of the ball as he touched the pylon?
Watch this play, Mike. This is a wide receiver. The motion's into the backfield. What do you think?
Take one more look at it here. It looked like that foot was good, and touching the pylon looked like after the contact with the pylon, the ball lost control.
I believe it's a touchdown.
This is one thing I want to look at again here. That foot right there, I still see green in between, but it's tight to look at. They'll take their time and check it out.
The previous play is under further review.
Well, it's an interesting play out of the shotgun. Austin just disappears behind his offensive lineman. I think it's snapped right back to Geno Smith, who just flips it like a volleyball to Austin.
.5'9". John,
Touchdown.
you said he hides behind those offensive linemen. And boy, that is the definition of the word scat back.
Well, he's caught 89 passes. He's an All-American kick returner. They hand him the ball. And we said it earlier, Mike. Dana Holgorsen came from Texas Tech, where he learned under Mike Leach. They had a slot receiver named Wes Welker.
He was pretty good.
Danny Amendola. They always have a dominant, creative playmaker in the slot. And here at West Virginia, it's this kid, Tavon Austin.
As they take a peek at this again, blow it up there just to see the little green space. Do you see any of the shoe touching the white? And nothing that you could overturn the call that was made on the field touchdown. But then the second part of this, as we kept it rolling, he's in contact with the ball, hitting the pylon.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Stands not confirmed, so it's a touchdown. And it's 14-14 again. If Austin would have lost control with his hand, and then the ball went out of bounds on the opposite side of the goal line, it would have been a touchback.
One thing I'm observing here early, Mike, I would not want to be a defensive coordinator in college football.
So wait, can you confirm? Can you officially announce that you're not coming back as a defensive coordinator?
Yeah, officially,
okay, good.
not.
You'd rather stay with Jaws than defend college offenses.
I'm having more fun watching this game than I've had in my life.
I'm dehydrating just watching this.
Extra point punched through by Bittenkurt. That only took 1:50. Wow. And we've had 4 touchdowns scored here in the last just under 7 minutes.
Well, these aren't just no-huddle offenses. These are multiple formation no-huddle offenses. They've lined up in 20 different formations, unbalanced line. They're running read option plays, down the field passes, reverses, shovel passes, and they're doing it at warp speed. Play after play after play. Defenses can't communicate. They can't get lined up, and they get gassed. They get tired. And both of these offenses have tremendous playmakers at quarterback.
Yeah, that's the key right there. You look at the offensive talent, John. You can talk about the scheme. It's very good. You're seeing multiple formation, multiple personnel, but you're seeing tremendous players.
And Sammy Watkins, they haven't given him a great look yet. They kicked it out of bounds the first time. Sammy took it back to the 40 the second time. West Virginia's got to get some negative field position on this kickoff.
It's right down the middle and short. Watkins catches it at 15. They're going to be tackled just shy of the 35-yard line. It's only going to take one block for him to break one of these short kickoffs. Take a look at tonight's Taco Bell touchdown spotlight. There's that score, just tightrope in the sideline for Tavon Austin to cap off a drive that took all of a minute and 50 and 57 yards. That's Taj Boyd's turn. Complete to midfield on the completion to Jaron Brown, a gain of 15.
All right, Jaron Brown made the catch. After a couple drops, makes a nice catch there, diving to the ground, coming up with it. Get his confidence back after that one, young man.
Great throw by Boyd under pressure. Shows off his arm.
Coming to DeAndre Hopkins on the near side, left side. 46 as Broderick Jenkins, who was a high school teammate of Sammy Watkins, the star for Clemson, made the tackle.
You see number 30, Chad Deal, a true fullback, has checked into the game. Remember, offensive coordinator Chad Morris loves to take shots. He loves 2 or 3 of them per quarter.
2nd and 6. Boyd taking that shot, John, downfield. And a tackle will be the 15-yard pass interference call coming up on Ian Smith.
Saw that coming a mile away, yep. Mike. You bring the fullback in, you set up the hard play action fake, and you throw a bomb to an All-American. Obvious PI here, I believe.
We'll bring it to the 31 if that's the call.
Pass interference, defense number 24. 15 yards, good spot. Automatic first down.
We'll take a look at the end of the play right here. And you'll see Hopkins streaking down the field. There's a contact, and right there, he just pulled down. That's an easy call right there on Ian Smith.
Heated his path all the way, then knocked him down. Enough was enough. Boyd will keep it. Gets the 28-yard line. Will Clark coming up with the tackle. This is a West Virginia defense missing one of its best players. Terrence Garvin is out. Third leading tackler on Jeff Castile's 3-3-5 stack defense. So without Garvin, redshirt freshman Wes Tonkery has been in the lineup a good part of the night. Ellington to the 25-yard line.
West Virginia has some pass rushers here that are outstanding. Out there, number 11, Bruce Irvin. At 14 2 years ago, 7.5 this year. It's just hard to rush the passer against this Clemson offense with all the perimeter quick screens.
Third and 4, Mountaineers bring pressure. Boyd throws over the top, nearly intercepted. Garrett Barber coming back out of Mountsville, North Carolina, had a hand on it, and we get to 4th and 4.
Nice play by Barber, number 33. He's going to see the tight end on the crossing route. He runs right to the junction of that pattern. That's good coaching right there. Good recognition by the young linebacker.
Yeah, Barber right on the play action fake, goes, hunts up that crossing route. Right, perfect position, incomplete.
It's an area where Catanzaro has been very good this year. 7 of 10 from between 40 and 49 yards. From 42, he knocks it through. Field goal's like a letdown.
Yeah, right.
17-14 Tigers.
Only 3?
With John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Lisa Salters, Mike Tirico with you. The Discover Orange Bowl, continuing the trend that we saw in many of the bowl games, especially that wild Washington Baylor Valero Alamo Bowl game with a lot of points. What you expect out of these teams, both top 25 of the 120 FBS schools in scoring during the regular season. Spencer Benton will get his turn to kick off for Clemson. And his deep leg That was the 12th touchback of the year. No return for Tavon Austin. Well, you expected offense, and you've had plenty of it. What do you say to the defenses right now?
Get some water. Get over the Gatorade. Do something. Freshen up. We got 3 quarters left.
Well, it's hard to execute as a defense against a full-speed, high-tempo offense that has multiple formations. Neither team's done a very good job so far. Be interesting to see what adjustments Coach Castile of West Virginia and Coach Kevin Steele of Clemson make.
See Kevin Steele, 78th Discover Orange Bowl, highest scoring first quarter in the history of this game. Might not be the last record we break tonight. Geno Smith back on the field, had nothing open. The screen was obliterated. Bowie was tied up. He was the intended receiver. Stephon Anthony had him tangled up.
Look, you can have all the practices you want, all the meetings, all the walkthroughs. You can have 30 bowl practices if you want. It's a lot different when the lights come on in the Orange Bowl and you got to communicate as 11 men in the noise. Hard to do. Both teams struggling.
Second and 10, Geno Smith hit as he threw, and it's incomplete. That was Xavier Brewer. So some pressure from the back end coming through for Clemson.
Yeah, that's the key, bringing third-level defenders. You'll see Xavier Brewer, number 29, coming right up the middle. Geno Smith has no time to get rid of this football, has to unload it. That's the pressure that Kevin Steele was talking about bringing, forcing Geno Smith to get the ball out before his receivers can make their break.
Clemson hoping for a 3 and out. Flush is Smith. Throws on the run. Held on. What a catch on the sideline by Stedman Bailey. These two guys who went to high school together and know each other well. Hook up for 13 and a first down.
Stedman Bailey, number 3. You'll see him explode to the sideline. And that play was made because the quarterback, Geno Smith, has that mobility to get outside. And boy, he throws a dart. Stedman Bailey, good hands.
You know why else that play was made? Because those guys know each other since 8th grade. They've been doing that a whole lot of time. Sean Alston to the 40-yard line.
Well, number 98, Brandon Thompson, missed the tackle for loss there. Some of these highly decorated Clemson Tiger defensive linemen haven't done much so far.
Well, we found something that can stop the offenses. Into the quarter.
Can we take a breath?
Yes, 17-14 Clemson at the Discover Orange Bowl. The Bowl Championship Series continues, and the theme of entertaining tight games continues. A little back and forth here that we were watching during this first quarter with Andre Branch, the first team all-ACC, end for Clemson, and the quarterback for West Virginia, Geno Smith. So 3 different times we've had these guys just with a little bit of extracurricular. So we need to keep an eye on the star on the defense for Clemson and the quarterback for West Virginia here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, so do the coaches. Hopefully somebody in the press box gets to the bottom of that quickly.
Mountaineers take over with 2nd and 2, and Alston's the back. There goes Sean, who has a touchdown earlier tonight, gets to the 44-yard line. And even further downfield, Stedman Bailey.
Getting a little chippy out there.
Yep, with Bashaud Breeland of Clemson.
A lot of these kids come back to Miami. They are playing their hearts out for West Virginia, but you have to control your emotions. I've seen Stedman Bailey, and we just showed you number 12, the quarterback, Geno Smith. Both guys, very emotional young men, coming back to Miami. I think the officials are having a little conversation right now.
I think what they're going to do, since Bailey was fixing his helmet, not getting back, they're going to reset the play clock
reset
here.
the clock to 14:48. 1-4-4-8.
And it'll get the play clock to 25 instead of 40.
Look at number 80, just checking in. Now he's checking back out. I bet you don't know who he is for West Virginia, Mike.
We sure do. It's Ryan Nealon.
What a name in West Virginia history.
His dad, Dan, is the equipment manager. And, of course, his granddad, legendary coach, a Hall of Famer, Don Nealon. Here's Bowie with the carry to the 46-yard line.
West Virginia trying to get a little balance in their offense.
Just amazing.
Inside.
Excuse me, John. Just amazing how the crowd, they just don't get to participate in these no-huddle offenses. They're as mesmerized as we are.
Catch your breath.
He's involved, John.
On 2nd and 8, Smith downfield, comes back to the sideline of J.D. Woods, who's inbounds and in Clemson territory at the 39-yard line, and a gain of 15 for the junior from Naples, Florida.
Really good job by Geno Smith. He's going to come on this play-action pass and look to his left. Going to look for that in-breaking route. It's not there. He comes back all the way to the right and throws a dart. Boy, that's what you got to do as a quarterback. Find that open receiver, deliver the football. J.D. Woods there.
West Virginia offense had a little bit of a speed bump towards the end of the season. Looking sharp tonight, and how about that catch? Toe down and good for Devon Brown, who's had a very good first half.
West Virginia has an army of wide receivers. Here's Brown in his slot, snatching this ball away from his body. What a catch.
They go quick on that hash near their bench between the 30s. Alston slips and falls, and we have a penalty flag. Only one penalty in that first quarter was the pass interference on the Mountaineers.
Illegal substitution. Defense number 98. The man did not get off the field. 5-yard penalty. The down remaining. First down.
310 pounds, Brandon Thompson trying to get off the field.
Exactly what you were talking about, Mike. That ball on your hash. Force mistakes.
They go again, just flick it forward to Tavon Austin trying to get the edge. He got a nice block to get inside the 15. Austin going toward the goal line is ruled in for the touchdown.
That's amazing. That's the third time they've ran the same play.
We got to go back. I think he was out of bounds back here. I hesitated on the call. I thought his left foot was out of bounds. Let's get a look here, guys.
That's close, Mike, and I think they've stayed in.
See. That's good. All right. All the way in. 27 yards, and it's ruled a pass, by the way.
I like watching this kid in replay at full speed. How about the moves he's making, Mike? I mean, he's accepting the little laterals, these little shotgun plays from Geno Smith. No one can tackle him.
How in the world those feet stay in going down the sideline? That first look was clearer than that look that he was in. That one gave the illusion that he might have been out. That first look, you saw green between the toes and the sideline on every step. Austin has his second touchdown. West Virginia's last 3 possessions. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. How about this Mountaineer offense? 21 points, 16 and a half minutes. Back here in South Florida at the Discover Orange Bowl. Push-ups are going to increase, and so will the words to the defense of encouragement and of adjustment. As Dabo Swinney goes over to talk to his Clemson defenders, who will make a stand here. 3 straight drives for touchdown by West Virginia, John.
I know what he's saying. He's saying, you see that number 1? That Austin? Tackle him. Get that number 1. He's killing us. That's what he's saying. Yemeni Christmas says Austin put on a show. Woo.
Ball falls off the tee. Cold front came through. There's a bit of a breeze here tonight. Temperatures in the 50s. It was a great week up until about a day and a half ago. Got a little bit cool.
You know, Mike, Butch Jones, the head coach at Cincinnati, is a good friend of mine. And he told me this Austin should be a Heisman Trophy candidate. That's how much he thinks of this young man's abilities. Not everybody gets to see Austin because they play out there in West Virginia, but man, has he been impressive.
2,294 total yards this year. A little wind help to take the kick back to the goal line. There's Sammy Watkins with some blocking and a nice tackle by Ian Smith, the starting safety, at the 20-yard line.
This Clemson offense, some people count the box. Clemson, they're going to hand the ball off. If they get a loaded box, they see a defender with nose trouble, he won't hand the ball off. He'll pull it out, throw a quick screen out there to Sammy Watkins. They are always ready to fire the ball on the perimeter, and Boyd has a number of options in this spread system for Clemson.
That is creative.
Of the 24, it's Taj Boyd. Martavis Bryant.
Oh, another freshman.
To the 30-yard line. A highly touted out of high school in ESPN.com's high school rankings. He was number 43. And it speaks to the Sammy Watkins success. Martavis Bryant has that kind of talent and ability, which is hard to believe.
Fastest guy on the team at 6'5", 205 pounds. You said, Mike, another freshman.
Watkins savvy for a freshman. His football IQ, the reason he got on the field so early. There's a tackle for loss. Jared Barber, who made a good play breaking up a pass earlier. Second call for the freshman.
Second time he's run through on a blitz. You're going to see Barber just come right up the middle. Unaccounted for. Tackle for loss.
Yeah,
big third down for this West Virginia defense. They got to get off here.
Offside by Bruce Irvin. The play keeps going, and they get more than the 5 as Jaron Brown has it the 36-yard line.
Real good job by Clemson. Knowing the West Virginia defender was offside, they kept the play going.
Offside, defense. Penalty is declined. The play results in the first down.
Absolutely right. Well, this is good football IQ. West Virginia offside. Receiver runs the route. Boyd comes out, makes the completion.
We have seen several players slip here in the first half. Boyd, sideline throw, long throw over to DeAndre Hopkins. Nuke making some moves. He's got a first down as he made a cut and slipped to the 47-yard line. We have an injured Clemson offensive lineman again.
Philip Price, the left tackle. Just a little arrow route. Hopkins starts inside, comes back outside. And you see number 37, Wes Tonkery, missing a tackle. Tonkery pressed into service tonight because of the injury to Terrence Garvin. Clemson's loaded with skill players, Jaws.
Whole teams are.
John, you mentioned Philip Price was the offensive lineman hurt. Second time in the last 3 series that the senior's gone down. Clemson athletic trainers look at him as we step out. Hydration a must for the players here tonight, both offense and defense. And unfortunately, you see Philip Price, 79, for Clemson on the training table there as they look at the injured senior left tackle. We mentioned an MCL injury to that knee in November. Checking out the right leg again for the second time tonight. This time he limped off with more difficulty. David Smith replaces him and blocks for Andre Ellington, who's down the sideline. Ellington in a foot race out of bounds, back in the red zone at the 14-yard line.
Boy, this Andre Ellington, once again, you could see his speed as he explodes right here to the right side of Boyd. Nice little inside zone blocking scheme. Finds that hole, and boy, once he gets the secondary, he just runs over people. He's a tough runner, makes people miss, as well as being physical.
Gain of 39. He's over 100 yards already in this Orange Bowl. Boyd a pass to DeAndre Hopkins. Pumped hard out of bounds by Darwin Cook. It was legal, and it's at the 7.
This Boyd is a smooth operator. That time it's a one-back power play. He doesn't like the look, so he snatches it out of the belly of Ellington and fires it into the boundary. They give this Taj Boyd a lot of leeway in decision-making. I bet this is a blast to play quarterback in this offense. This Chad Morris, I tell you what.
He is good.
Find out where he is and go listen to him at a clinic.
2nd and 3. The back now is DJ Howard. And a redshirt freshman out of Lincoln, Alabama pounds forward. And it'll be 1st and goal for Clemson.
Mike, it's amazing. That's Clemson's 30th play already. There's 11 minutes and 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. They average about 75 plays a game. They've actually had 3 games where they've run 92 plays. You talk about volume.
Ellington back on. Tigers trying to retake the lead. And a whistle from the back end.
Officials might need a break.
Yeah, I know it. You do.
All right, no call, no penalty, just administration in terms of the clock perhaps. So we'll continue inside of limits. It was the clock. The game clock was not moved. So from the 3, they bring Watkins back around from the other side. Just give it to Ellington, pounding up the middle. And the ball taken out by West Virginia back the other way. The Mountaineers took it out of his hands, and Darwin Cook is racing for a touchdown. How about that turnaround? Oh, man!
Unbelievable.
Well, that will certainly, be reviewed, and then Cook, as he ran all the way down, kept going, ran into the wall. He gets up and he's okay. 99 yards, it's called right now. Let's get a peek. You got a million things there. When does the ball come out? Is he laying on other bodies? Has he crossed the plane? When's the ball ripped out? See the ball coming out there.
Yeah. The previous play is under further review. The ruling on the field is the ball is taken away and returned for a touchdown.
Trying to identify the legs of the running back, and they are on all other Clemson shoes and legs. And as that is happening, it's ripped out and taken back for a 99-yard score, and it's Cook who's the one in there ripping it out.
That ball is already out. It's laying on some bodies.
Wow.
That's going to be a touchdown, West Virginia.
There's some play by Darwin Cook, the redshirt sophomore out of Cleveland, who played all but 7 plays on defense this year.
Clemson has great surge from their offensive linemen. That ball is ripped out of there clearly. That's a great example of why you finish the play, Ron. And West Virginia did an excellent job playing through the whistle.
Dave Whitford, the Big Ten official, referee, on with the replay official, Tom Herbert, upstairs, who's looking. And Cook, the 2nd leading tackler on this team in his 1st year as a starter for West Virginia. He's made some big plays during the year, none bigger than that one.
I think it's a touchdown for West Virginia, Josh.
It's ruled a touchdown on the field. There's nothing that we can see that would change that ruling. That ball is out.
And he just grabbed and took off.
Yep.
Was any part of him then?
And then when you look at that, see if there's any portion of his legs down as they're laying there on the other players.
Hey, you guys got to go right
now. Here's Dave.
After further review, the play stands as ruled on the field.
It was funny, the Clemson fans were all standing and cheering, and all of a sudden the ball started going the other way, and you saw the West Virginia fans all rise in unison. Pretty wild.
Very observant of you, Ron.
Yeah, thank you, Frank.
So it will go as a 99-yard return, and Clemson was just about to score and retake the lead. Instead, Bittencourt adds the extra point, and the Mountaineers in about 11 minutes have scored 28 points. Remember, Clemson scored first. And it's now an 11-point West Virginia lead. That's 4 touchdowns for WVU in 11 minutes and 26 seconds. And one of the great getaways of all time by Darwin Cook. 99 yards. Dabo Swinney thought Tigers were going in for a score. And what in the wide world happened? Miami. And you see as we show you some of the great views of the game tonight, courtesy of the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. Cook did cross the plane. It wasn't a Tyrann Mathieu in the SEC championship game. Then he went to take out the Orange Bowl mascot, and he took him down and into the wall. It was like a Gus Farrat situation there for him. He was okay, but the Orange Bowl mascot, he needs to, Obi.
Fresh squeezed orange juice right there. That's what you get down here in Florida.
Obi has bounced back. We're happy to report. The last 7 possessions have resulted in points. The first 2 did not.
Turnovers doomed Clemson this year down the stretch. 1-3 in their last 4 games because of 12 turnovers. Must protect the ball.
Corey Smith will kick it. Here comes Sammy Watkins. Trying to get to the outside, couldn't. Brought down to the 24-yard line. Penalty marker down as Willie Millhouse made the tackle. Here's Dave.
During the return, holding. Returning team number 27. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Lisa Salters on the sideline.
Hey, Mike, bad news for the Tigers. You saw the trainers working on number 79 left tackle Philip Price. They were working on that right knee, the same right knee that he injured in November. They say that he is out for the rest of the game.
Disappointing way for it to end for Price, the senior. In Dillon, South Carolina. David Smith, graduate student, started 18 games this year. Will do most of the work at left tackle. Clemson back, and it's Ellington for a couple of yards. I want to bring in Bill Carollo, former NFL official, who's supervising the Big Ten officials. Bill's up in the booth with us tonight. Bill, that play back here, what did you see on this Ellington loss of the ball in return for the touchdown?
Well, it's obvious now after the replay, you can see that the ball was loose early, and he was laying on players, and I think it's a great example of proper mechanics and great whistle control. Normally the whistles will go when the runner runs into the line of scrimmage. Nice job by the officials.
Pass to Sammy Watkins there to the 22-yard line. In those situations, Bill, and you've been in those, are the officials instructed to wait and make sure you see a guy's body part hit the ground and don't assume that the pile is ending the play?
Well, it's really 2 parts. You have to see him if a body part hits the ground and he has control of the ball.
Thank you, Bill. This is 3rd down, and Boyd's pass is incomplete. Intended for Andre Ellington, so West Virginia's defense looked like it was going to give up the lead. Instead, they get 7, and they 3-and-out the Tigers.
Well, clearly right now the motivation is on West Virginia's side. The momentum is on their side right now. That was a big turnover that West Virginia turned into 6 points, and right now they're all lathered up. They've taken the momentum away from Clemson.
Devon Brown will go back. Good rush on Dawson Zimmerman. He gets it away. Brown will get away. West Virginia had problems with that, as mentioned earlier. They'll have the ball at the 35. They also have an 11-point lead here in the midpoint of the 2nd quarter. Inside of the 7-minute mark in the opening quarter. Have the ball back with an 11-point lead. And Tavon Austin just gets about a yard. Clemson defense needs a play. Xavier Brewer starts.
Well, you see a good example there of Geno Smith, that catch and release. Catch the football, get it out of his hand. Got a little screen set up, and boy, they just love those screen passes.
Now the true junior didn't redshirt. Smith comes up to adjust the play. It'll be a run with Andrew Bowie, the freshman. This little wiggle by Bowie, couple shy of the 1st down.
I got to give credit to this offensive line. Center Joe Madsen. Watch him reach the nose tackle right here on this zone play. It's an excellent job with his left guard, Braun. Just blocking at the point of attack on the play side. West Virginia's doing a nice job up front.
Smith dancing in some trouble with nobody open, being chased by Andre Branch. Branch going to force him out, but did he stick the ball over the line for the first down? Let's see the mark. What a job to stay in bounds and get the first down for the Mountaineers.
Haven't seen this a lot from Geno Smith this year, but he's really showing some acceleration here. Let's take a look at the replay. Bootleg, he and Branch. Great athlete, number 40 in pursuit. The race to the pylon.
So you're making fun of me when I said Randall Cunningham. Now look at these plays he's making. That's Rocket Man himself out there.
Just remember, it's where the ball is when the man goes out. That big left mid keeping control and sticking it forward. Here's West Virginia the first down. Smith throwing on the run into traffic, incomplete. A good coverage from Cody Sensabaugh.
I think Sensabaugh is going to play at the next level. Clearly the best cover guy. Watch your right side of the screen. You're going to see the square in. Nice job by Sensabaugh undercutting the route. Good playing speed right there.
Yeah, that
by
was
Sensabaugh.
I think Smith could have taken off and gained about 6 or 7 yards, and that one slid. But he decided to throw. Sensabaugh makes the play.
Been mostly Andrew Bowie, the freshman from Jacksonville, as the running back in this series. And here is Bowie, not going to get back to the line. Carico Hawkins makes it a loss of 3.
Oh, that was impressive.
Once again, this tempo by West Virginia, not allowing Clemson to get their substitutions on the field. They're having some problems.
3rd and 13. The Tigers rush 3, and the throw is complete, but short of the first down. Again, Sensabaugh makes the play, as he's been on Ivan McCartney the entirety of this second quarter.
And Clemson dodged a bullet there. 2 of their defenders ran into each other as the ball was snapped. Fortunately, they were in a soft zone coverage. Smith threw the ball underneath. Clemson makes the tackle and gets off the field.
So the game starts with 2 series that turn into punts. We have 7 consecutive series with scores. And now back-to-back punts as Corey Smith will come on. Caught on the run, sliding down shy of the 20. The offensive coordinator for Clemson, hired this year, has really come off the Malzahn system in building his offense. Pass to Dwayne Allen, the tight end, is incomplete. Guys, let's explain that story briefly. It was a successful high school run for Chad Morris in Texas. Then he hit a little bit of a dry spot. So he was trying to figure out something to do, so he went looking around for the next great offense.
Well, I love guys that have ambition. He showed up at Gus Malzahn's office. He said, Coach, I'm going to lose my job. I need to learn from you. I need your help. And wouldn't take no for an answer. Look what it did for him.
Pass to Boyd is complete. As you saw Philip Price, the left tackle, limp out on crutches. It's going to be a first down for DeAndre Hopkins. And Jaws, what I liked about that story was the stick-to-itiveness. His entire staff flew out twice to Little Rock to watch Malzahn's high school team in the playoffs.
And you know, he thought originally he was going to just get blown off, you know, and he kind of was, but he kept being persistent, kept going back, and finally learned how to run this offense.
Which includes some of this. Boyd on the move. Got a nice block downfield from Sharon Peak. It's the second time that wide receiver's thrown a downfield block. And it's a first down gain of 24.
This is a design quarterback counter play. Ball's a direct snap. He finds his offside guard. He's even using Ellington as a lead blocker. Boy, number 23, Andre Ellington, looks like he's out of gas, Mike.
Long way to go. Better find a station.
First down in time for Boyd. In the middle's free, and here comes Sammy Watkins, who slips and falls. Footings a little dicey here. The 32 at 17 more yards.
You got a middle clear right there from your All-American tight end, Allen, and they shoot Watkins right in behind him, wide open. Nice delivery by Boyd.
30 first downs, 25 minutes played. Hopkins to the sideline. The record for the most combined yards on offense with two teams in the history of the Orange Bowl, this is the 78th Orange Bowl, is 1,019 yards. We are already at 567 with 5:15 left in the first half, and they're to blame. These are the guys.
I love those guys.
Second and 4 as Boyd, his tight end was covered. Allen, pass incomplete. Tiger fans want Jared Barber for pass interference, not called.
You know, there is literally no pass rush. Here we are with just under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. He's getting no pressure on the quarterbacks. Defensive linemen are gassed.
Left arm underneath there.
I think so.
The Clemson fans saw and correctly voiced their frustration. With slant on 3rd and 4, he's dropped by Hopkins. We credit the coverage of Broderick Jenkins. The guy we mentioned is a teammate of Sammy Watkins, the other receiver. And Swinney will go for the field goal here to try to make it an 8-point game.
I think it's hard to throw the quick game from the shotgun. You have to be able to catch it and deliver it. Sometimes these quarterbacks don't even get the laces. That time ball's thrown perfectly. Nice play by the cornerback Jenkins.
Zaro made it from 42. This one from 43. Good job getting the snap down.
Yeah.
And the kick is good. Catanzaro's got the best 40-plus yard field goal percentage at Clemson since Donald Igwebuike. Remember him?
Iggy.
Knocked another one through. Hello to all you Clemson fans who are watching all over the great state of South Carolina. Folks at the Esso Club as well. One of the all-time great sports establishments for watching games on that beautiful Clemson campus. That little piece of serenity there in the upstate part of South Carolina. 8-point West Virginia lead. Dana Holgorsen ready to send the offense back on the field as Spencer Benton kicks for the Tigers.
Oh boy.
Austin. Tavon on the outside. He's already had a good night with a couple of touchdowns and gives his offense good field position.
This is my guy, Tavon Austin. Just an underneath handoff. Watch him bounce outside and turn it onto the front pylon. Same play. You're going to see this later in the first half. He bounces it out to the left side. Great sideline awareness, acceleration. How about that camera work?
I love how he's your guy. The minute he has a great time.
That's my guy right there.
He was a high school record setter as a running back at Dunbar High School, which is known for its great basketball programs over the years in Baltimore. Heck of a football impact now. Second series with Andrew Bowie as the main back. Mountaineers up 8, and Geno Smith needs to take a timeout. We talked a little bit, guys, about Chad Morris and how he ended up with the Clemson offensive coordinator job. A very interesting story with Dana Holgorsen, just to back up for the people who don't remember. I know West Virginia and Big East fans do. Dana Holgorsen was going to be the coach in waiting, hired by Oliver Luck. Bill Stewart was the coach, and then he went through a time when Holgorsen brought his offensive staff. It was very uncomfortable. Stewart got a reporter, former reporter for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, to dig up some dirt on Holgorsen if there's an incident at a casino. In any case, it was quite uncomfortable. Stewart resigned. Holgorsen got the job as the head coach when he thought he'd just be the offensive coordinator. So this is really a temporary season for West Virginia.
And what's impressive to me has been Geno Smith, learning a new system, new coaching staff, and he's been very impressive all season long, as well as not only tonight.
Hey, some of these fifth-year seniors for West Virginia have had 3 different head coaches. And it's a credit to them for being here tonight. What a job they've done. Rich Rodriguez, Coach Stewart, and now Holgorsen. And here they are in another big bowl game.
And there goes Bowie out of the timeout into Clemson territory. Cross midfield to the 47-yard line before Jonathan Willard brings him down.
Screen game. Hard to get pressure on the quarterback with all these different screen passes. And Kevin Steele's looking for the right call for his Clemson defense.
There's the right call.
Yeah. Well, that's the first time we've talked about number 98, Brandon Thompson. A lot of people say he's a potential first-round draft choice. You're going to see penetration right at the top of your screen. Should make that play when he's unblocked. I saw a mistake up front for West Virginia, and sometimes in these no-huddle offenses, the call doesn't get echoed across the line of scrimmage. I think that was the case.
Todd McShay has that senior Thompson 38th on his overall list on ESPN.com. Over the top, it is caught by Devon Brown, couple shy of the first down with Rashard Hall making the stop as we get to the 3:40 mark of the half.
You know, Geno Smith not only throwing the football well, but reading the defense. His right, he sees the pressure, plants that back foot, gets the ball out. Hot principles executed beautifully.
And Tavon Austin, they go speed and they get the flag. Looked like a face mask. He's going to take it into the red zone for the Mountaineers.
I'm trying to figure out who this Tavon Austin reminds me of, Mike.
Eric Metcalf.
That's a good one right there.
Yeah. How about Darren Sproles, an active player now?
Personal foul, face mask. Defense number 29. Half the distance. Automatic first down.
Great call by the official. They're just firing the ball on the perimeter and trying to get Austin in one-on-one situations. And he's miserable on defenses.
Back to Sean Alston, the big back. Smith, nothing open, taking off. Look at the moves by Smith to get inside the 10. And Brewer tackles him at around the 7-yard line.
Well, Smith has been well protected for the most part tonight. He came into this game being sacked 19 times. Their last 6 games, no sacks tonight.
3 for the first down, 8 for the touchdown.
Stedman Bailey at the bottom of the screen, one-on-one coverage. Number 3, be surprised if he doesn't get a look.
Martin Jenkins, 14 down there for Clemson, trying to communicate the change in the secondary coverage. Smith, will he take off again? There he goes, and he's in. Touchdown, West Virginia.
You know, if you go back and look at what happened on that play, Clemson's blitzing. Geno Smith audibles and Clemson audibles on defense. The Clemson Tigers audible into a zone defense, and Geno Smith just takes off. I don't think Clemson prepared for the running of Geno Smith tonight, Jaws. That's the 3rd time he's taken off and made big yardage.
And he's hurt him badly.
And credit to Lou Holtz. Coach said that on the pregame with Mark May and Reese Davis. That would be a factor he thought would be important because of the missing elements of Dustin Garrison and Bernard Roberts.
Well, Lou Holtz is a Hall of Famer. Me and Josh aren't. You expect Lou Holtz to point that out.
You know, Reese gets 2 Hall of Famers, Lou Holtz and Mark May.
I know.
And what do I get?
What's that mean, Mike?
I get again. I'm just reporting fact here.
I'm in the Polish American Hall of Fame.
Yes, you are. And Geno Smith, a word with Dana Holgerson over there, making sure he's okay. After that touchdown run, 35-20. Well, Chris Fowler's down in New Orleans. Buick halftime report coming up with Kirk Herbstreit's thoughts on the first half. The arrivals for both LSU and Alabama, and Les Miles and Nick Saban speaking. It was really cool. Aaron Andrews was on the LSU bus coming over from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. You guys mentioned Tavon Austin, and who does he remind you of? I won't give it as my submission because it's Herbstreit's thought that he shared with me, so I'll give Herbie the credit. Percy Harvin. A little bit of Percy Harvin type of impact as well. A little bit of power to the speed and quickness.
I like Herbie chiming in.
35-20. Sammy Watkins again slips. That's the 4th time we've seen Watkins slide as he's trying to make one of those cuts as this field's getting chopped up.
It's a team right now than they were earlier in the year.
Saw that in the Auburn game. Make the argument Jordan Jefferson steadying with the job at LSU has done that for the Tigers. The Taj Boyd and the Tigers, these Tigers need some points before the end of the half. Not much for Brandon Ford, give him 1.
You know, when you watch number 63 for Clemson, this left tackle, Brandon Thomas, who's filling in, he's doing an excellent job, number 63, against a premier pass rusher, number 11, Bruce Irvin of West Virginia. He's been pressed into service with the injury, doing a nice job at left tackle.
Did there again, but they threw it to the wrong team. Intercepted by the Mountaineers. Pat Miller, who had a huge interception, the only one of his career, a 52-yarder for touchdown against South Florida in the conference clinching game for WVU, forces the turnover.
Well, West Virginia only comes in a 3-man rush, so they drop 8 back, and they're playing man schemes. And boy, you just see a terrific job of driving the route. Boyd thought he had this one, but look at the coverage is absolutely perfect as Pat Miller undercuts the route, knowing he has help over the top.
That's a terrible throw by Boyd in that situation, and West Virginia's going for the kill.
Geno Smith, pocket collapsing over the middle, and walking in is Millhouse to the 1. Ruled down, knee down as the ball is marked there at the 1. So not free, but first and goal inside of 2 minutes.
Millhouse, what a story. You're going to see a free safety make a bad break. You see number 5, Jonathan Meeks, out of control. And Millhouse does an excellent job concentrating in a crowd.
Big back Sean Alston has scored once inside the 5. This time West Virginia's back is stomped at the 3 as Rennie Moore makes the tackle. 38, the clock turning here before halftime.
Well, Clemson penetrated finally. They've not had much success against this running game. They've been getting pushed around, but down here in this tight goal line area, they had the penetration, blew that play up in the backfield for a loss. They're going to need another one of those plays.
If I'm West Virginia, I'm in no hurry. I'm going to use this clock.
It is Austin.
Wow.
To the goal line and in. Another Tavon Austin touchdown. And what an incredible half by the Mountaineer offense.
How cool is this play again? I mean, you talk about creativity.
This is the 3rd time, Ron.
I know it. Oh.
I mean, Clemson's got to set the edge. You can't get this play 3 times for touchdowns in a season. West Virginia has flipped it 3 times in the first half for touchdowns.
Are we still in the first half?
We haven't had many teams that have scored 42 in an entire Orange Bowl, let alone a half. And it's 42-20 Mountaineers.
And don't lose sight of turnovers, Mike. We said it coming in here tonight. Clemson has to take care of the football. It's their 2nd turnover. That's a forced ball. You cannot make that decision. And you set West Virginia up. Watch this flip from Geno Smith to Tavon Austin. Clemson has no answer for that underneath shovel pass to Austin. I told you this is my guy right here.
Well, I know that. When he starts scoring touchdowns, you know, you got on the bandwagon. But boy, I tell you, beautifully designed plays, executed to perfection. But let's not forget, this West Virginia team has some explosive talent.
Because those have been forward flips, they are credited as passes.
Got to help the quarterbacks out, Mike.
Yeah. Stats, and that is the 3rd touchdown of that same type.
You know, speaking of LSU, Mike, LSU played West Virginia this year. And I've seen LSU play 3 or 4 times this year, and they don't give up a lot of yards. West Virginia had 28 first downs. Geno Smith threw for 463. I know they lost the game, and it was fairly convincing on the scoreboard, but this offense can move it against anybody in college football.
Short kick, let it bounce. Finally fielded by Watkins, and he's out inside the 14. So everything working for the Mountaineers.
It's impressive by head coach Dana Holgorsen, coaching the entire football team. They've mixed up the strategy and kicking to Watkins. That time a little mortar kick between the numbers and the sideline worked perfectly.
Well, he's dialing everything up properly so far tonight. Long way to go, because we know this Clemson team, they can score quickly.
Well, there you see West Virginia, both teams combining for an Orange Bowl record, and this the most points by a half, or by a team and a half, in the 78 Orange Bowls. From behind, Boyd may have lost the ball. It's whistled down at the 22. Bruce Irvin was coming from behind to punch it out.
Was he ever, Mike?
Well, he tomahawked that one. That was close.
He showed his stuff there. Number 11 came a long way. Bruce Irvin.
That's close to starting to come out there, guys. His knee comes down. They're going to take a second look at it, and rightfully so.
The previous play is under further review.
Turnovers have doomed Clemson late in this season, and they're dooming them tonight, Mike.
Take a look at this as Boyd's going down, knee on the ground, still has the football, but it was slipping out just slightly.
The movement of the ball begins with his hand, then his forearm has it pressed to his body, so he's maintaining some control of it, but that initial control starts to come out right there before he's down.
And what's really impressive is where Irvin came from to make this play. He's rushing the passer, he reads out of it, and he runs the quarterback down.
That one's pretty iffy, but I think he was called down. It's going to be hard to overturn that. They can't.
If that first hit by Irvin knocks the ball loose and then it keeps coming loose and doesn't stop on his forearm and hip, then you'd have something that would be a fumble.
I don't know how you can be right on this one. Either way, I'll tell you what. I have friends in the officiating business that would struggle with this one. This is a tough call.
You have friends in the officiating
business? Yes, I do, man. I do, Ron.
Yeah. Can you name them?
It's been a couple of times Dave Whitford's had to listen for Tom Herbert. Of course, every play in college football, as you know, is subject to review or reviewed quickly if need be. And then the buzz down to stop it. The 42 points scored by West Virginia. Only 4 teams in the history of the Orange Bowl have scored more than 42 for an entire game. So historic first half of offense by the Mountaineers.
Well, this Dana Holgorsen, remember where he's come from.
Yeah.
Mike Leach, Texas Tech, 8 years.
After further review, the ball was fumbled prior to the run being down. The ball will be placed at the 18-yard line, 1st and 10. The clock should be at 1:02.
I think it's a good call, and that's a great play by Irvin. All Big East. He dislodges the ball before Boyd is down.
What the replay official is ruling there is that contact started the ball coming loose and he never had it back under control. And what a punch in the gut Clemson is taking here in this stretch.
They need a defensive play here now.
West Virginia wants more. Smith complete, and Devon Brown is stopped inside the 10. They still have their 2 timeouts and 55 seconds left.
Yeah, they could take their time here. No need to rush this.
Out of the pistol with Bowie as the back. Here comes Andrew Bowie. It'll be 1st and goal for West Virginia after Rashard Hall's tackle. Clock stops to move the chains. 39 seconds left.
I am just shocked at the volume of offense they can run within 8 seconds.
Back to Bowie. He's stopped. Have to use a timeout now as Andre Branch makes the play at the 5. 22 seconds left.
Well, nice job by the Clemson defensive line. They're just selling out. Branch is fired through. Easy play for him to make the tackle for a loss.
Just how things change, guys. Let's just take you back. Only about 11 minutes on the clock, really 10 minutes on the clock. Clemson is down here to the other side, trying to go in for a touchdown. It's going to give them the lead. They're going to take a 24-21 lead on a touchdown run by their back, who 1,000-yard back. He's one of the stars of the team. Second team All-ACC in Andre Ellington. It gets ripped out of his hands, taken back the other way by West Virginia, and that begins this onslaught of 28 points already in this second quarter. And the Mountaineers 5 yards away from making it a 29-point game. As Ellington's going in for the score, it gets ripped out. Many had stopped watching the play, and Darwin Cook took it the other way, and nobody could catch him after 99 yards. It turned the tide in this game, at least in the first half. Geno Smith, pressure picked up. It's caught by Austin, shy of the goal line at the 1. West Virginia has a timeout. They're not using it here. It's 3rd and goal with 10 seconds left. They'll get another playoff with Alston to the left and in. A 5-touchdown quarter by the Mountaineers.
It's amazing they can get 11 college football players lined up that fast and come off the ball with that kind of authority. This is a well-coached offensive football team. I tip my hat to these Mountaineer players and Dana Holgorsen. I know where I'm going to try to go this spring in clinic. That's impressive.
Whew, it's remarkable, John. It really is. This is impressive offensive football.
5 touchdowns in 10 minutes and 24 seconds.
Well, you can't give West Virginia extra possessions. Strip fumble by Irvin. Sets up another touchdown to the big back, Alston. 3 turnovers by Clemson. Against this potent offense, Jaws, you got no chance.
Yeah, no chance.
Now,
3 turnovers in the first half.
Clemson's got to regroup somehow at halftime and get a turnover or 2 of their own, but this Clemson crowd is shocked.
It was Clemson in game 8 of the season. Remember, they had that great undefeated start. Things were going well. They were 7-0. North Carolina punched them in the mouth. As you look at the takeaways that has been a part of this season, and tonight some key takeaways have changed the momentum here a little bit. Like the one we showed you a moment ago. It was Clemson that came out of the locker room and scored 35 points on North Carolina in the 3rd quarter. Tonight, they've had 35 scored on them. Tackle shy of the 40, and the half comes to an end. 78 Orange Bowls. Only 3 teams have scored more than 49 points for an entire game. Dabo Swinney's got work to do. First, he's talking to Lisa.
Thanks, Mike. Dabo, I heard you tell your defense that they were getting their butts kicked physically. What didn't you like?
Well, we're not playing well anywhere. You know, we came out and started off really good, but turnovers, you know, that's kind of when we've not won. We've got 3 turnovers, which has led to 3 touchdowns. And then defensively, we're not getting off blocks. One guy's killing us right now, 3rd and long, quarterback scrambling. You know, we're just, but the turnovers creates a lot of momentum, and that's our problem right now. But we just got to get in here, regroup, and just keep playing.
You've always said there's nothing less important than the score at halftime. What do you say to them to get back in it?
Well, that very thing. I mean, we got to go out. We got to win the second half. We got to score. We got to take care of the football. You know, we got no chance. We're going in to score. To take the lead over, it's a 14-point swing. You know, you fumble the ball, they go 99 yards, and you know, that just kills you. So we've got ourselves in a hole. We got to come back. We got to keep playing. That's just what you do, and try to see if we can get some momentum, create some turnovers on their side, and get back in this thing.
All right, thank you, Coach. Mike?
I don't know many coaches who would have been that accommodating and honest and nice after a second quarter like that. 35-3, West Virginia. It started out well for Clemson, then the turnovers, the mistakes, and the onslaught. A first half that gave us 69 points and nearly 700 yards. Mountaineers by 29. We'll send you to the site of the championship game. Chris Fowler and company of the Buick Halftime Report. Oh, West Virginia gets the ball, by the way, to start the second half.
You got me!
number 2 of the 2012 Discover Orange Bowl. Here in Sun Life Stadium in South Florida. A record-setting first half for the Mountaineers. Let's take a look at a part of it. And tonight's Good Hands play brought to you by Allstate. So many choices for West Virginia, but this one really turned the momentum of the game. Andre Ellington going in for a Clemson touchdown. Not down. Ball coming out. Darwin Cook's coming out of the pile 99 yards later. So instead of Clemson taking the lead, West Virginia took the lead. And then another knockout. This one on the pressure brought by Bruce Irvin. That turnover led to a touchdown. Part of that second quarter, 35-point onslaught. West Virginia sets a bowl record. Most points a team has scored in the first half. And where in the world does Clemson go down 29 and giving the ball to the Mountaineers?
Well, fortunately for Clemson, they have an explosive offense, and they have a high-tempo offense. They're going to need to have to pick it up right now and, of course, find Sammy Watkins to get some explosive plays.
Yeah, if I'm West Virginia, watch out for trickery in the kicking game. Let's learn from Clemson. Take care of the ball. We get out of here with a win. And keep the pedal to the metal. These stats in the first half, that thing's smoking. They're playing great.
And poor Clemson, 44 plays, 331 yards, and 20 points. And you're the team trailing by 29. That never happens. Oh, it just did. Nice quiet half for Tavon Austin. Only 3 receiving touchdowns. Technically receptions because of the shovel passes.
And he's hurt him as a returner, too. His all-purpose yardage is something. He's going to add to that right here.
Austin got a little bit of a block to get to the outside. He'll get to the 27-yard line. We mentioned a record-setting first half. Here you go. These are just the Orange Bowl records. First quarter record for points. Those points and a half combined, which also sets an NCAA bowl game record. West Virginia's 49 points. And the longest defensive touchdown we've had in this Orange Bowl over the 78 years. The record for most points in an Orange Bowl combined was in that Florida-Maryland game a decade ago. They scored 79 points. And we sit at 69 as West Virginia starts the third quarter. Comes Austin to the right, and Tavon Austin picking up where he left off. Out of bounds right near midfield. 23 on the game.
Tavon Austin, get him the football. He will make plays. Watch the movement. A little inside handoff. Gets on the edge. Just makes people miss. Stick the foot in the ground. Incredible lateral agility by Tavon Austin.
That play is well blocked. There's 3 Clemson Tigers cut to the ground. Great execution by West Virginia.
Fake that. Let Sean Alston run up the middle into Clemson territory. Here's Lisa.
Hey, Mike. Well, Dana Holgorsen was asked whether or not the Mountaineers were going to try to slow things down in the second half with a 29-point lead. He said, no way. We're not going to try to protect this lead. We are going to continue to do what we do at our pace. John Jaws.
Holgorsen making a BCS game, Lisa, in his first year. Much like David Shaw with Stanford, who we saw the other night in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl and the loss to Oklahoma State. Middle Smith, caught by Devon Brown. He's had a nice game. It's another West Virginia first down.
Nice blitz pickup by Sean Alston, the veteran big back for West Virginia. Great catch.
Too easy, wide open. A better throw from Geno Smith. That one may have gone to the house.
5 catches, 71 yards for the redshirt senior out of Virginia, making his final appearance. And now a shot downfield, hauled in inside the 10 by Stedman Bailey. So the high school teammates a few miles away bring it down to the red zone.
Yeah, this one, you're going to bring pressure on the quarterback. You're going to get one-on-one matchups on the outside. When you got one-on-one in press position, run the go route. That is beautifully executed by that West Virginia Mountaineer offense. Quarterback, wide receiver on the same page.
Wide splits, Alston picking a spot. He gets to the 6.
Clearly Clemson's game plan to start the second half is to come out blitzing. And so far West Virginia has decoded every blitz. Important. Clemson doesn't give up 6 here.
Second and goal, back shoulder for Bailey. That's incomplete. We talked about that 30-day stretch between end of the regular season and bowls, a hair more for Holgerson's team. So Bailey and Smith, two guys who went to the same high school, have been throwing since 8th grade. What they do, they found a little turf and some space over on 199th Street here. Not too far from the stadium, not too far from where they grew up. Chance to stay sharp in the bowl break. There they go, working it again, trying to get in. Got it. Bailey, a homecoming touchdown for the Mountaineers.
They are really working number 17, Breland, 3 straight times. And the third time's a charm. That time is just a little arrow route. He's going to drive to the inside, break back to the outside. Good throw, good finish by Bailey. One Miami product to the other, right here in the Orange Bowl. 55 points. Wow.
A lot of time left, John. And 55.
That's a big old move that scoreboard.
That's pretty cool for these two young men, Geno Smith and Stedman Bailey. Known each other since 8th grade. Playing on a conference champion, playing in the Orange Bowl game, and having a night to remember. Well, there are a full allotment of tickets. Here, a game being played in the midweek. The economy, variety of factors going in there. Certainly the loyal Clemson and West Virginia fans who could get here during a school week and everything else have enjoyed their time in South Florida. West Virginia has equaled the 2002 Florida team a decade ago with the second most points scored by a team in the history of the Orange Bowl. On the return, Sammy Watkins hasn't given up. 45-yard line.
His graphic is in front of your eyes. He's a great coach.
Bruce Irvin coming in, getting a sack for West Virginia. Stripped the ball earlier to cause a turnover.
Well, left tackle Philip Price is out of the game. His backup Brandon Thomas, number 63, is in the game, and Bruce Irvin just goes right after him. Speed rush. He comes back to the inside. Excellent work by the All Big East performer.
14 sacks 2 years ago, John.
Boyd pass to the middle is broken up and incomplete on 3rd and 17. As he tried to get it to Jerron Brown, it is a 3-and-out for the Mountaineers, and their defense set a couple of good series here.
And if I'm Dabo Swinney, I might go down to Chad Morris, my offensive coordinator, and say, hey, we might want to get out of this 2-minute drill and run the ball a little bit, because West Virginia could put 90 on the board the way it's going right now, Jaws.
They're making it look easy, and their defense comes up and makes a stop. Bruce Irvin's starting to heat it up right now.
Devon Brown back, makes the fair catch just outside the 25. West Virginia has 7 offensive touchdowns, and they've scored them all on less than 3-minute drives. Mountaineer fans and Tiger fans got to check out during the week. Might run out of ammunition.
I think he has.
Shooting the gun off as the night goes on. 35 in a row for West Virginia. And Anthony Bowie takes it across the 30-yard line.
Maybe you're getting your wish here, John. A little running game. They can do that, too. This is a multi-dimensional, balanced offense right now for West Virginia. They can throw it down the field. They can throw it short, intermediates open. They run the ball, screens. Offensive line doing an outstanding job. And that was their issue coming into this game on the right side. But they've been rock solid up front all evening.
Bowie out. Ryan Clark goes in motion, and Bowie comes to the 30-yard line. So unable is Andrew to get back to the line of scrimmage. Lost a yard.
They just showed Dana Holgerson And his sideline sheet. See how small that sheet was, Mike?
Yeah, for all these points and all these yards.
No, he said, we don't have a lot of plays. We just rep them over and over and over and over again. And we do it with a very fast tempo.
Maybe
really
a good
big on execution.
Maybe a good lesson for a lot of coaches, John. Sometimes you get paralysis through analysis. You see these, these IHOP menus that some of these teams have. Call the play, put some burden on the players to execute.
3rd and 6, here comes a blitz. Picked up for the moment, and on the run, a toss, and a catch by Bailey at the 45. Wow. Woo, 24, and that was pretty.
Well, Geno Smith, once again, extending the play. Pressure up the middle. He came with a delayed blitz by Clemson. You see it there. Now Geno Smith moves, gets outside the pocket, and just throws Bailey open.
That's a big time play right there.
Big time. You're starting to come around on Smith, aren't you, John?
Look like John Elway there. Couldn't resist.
What else?
Out of the pistol, here comes Sean Alston for we should let America in on our little conversation here. Greg Schiano, the Rutgers coach, West Virginia, went up in the snow in October, beat Rutgers. And the Rutgers coach said, go ahead, Jaws, you used the line. So
he said it reminded him of Joe Namath, you know? Come on, that's high praise for
Geno Smith reminded him of Joe Namath.
That's right.
What film is he watching?
Well, the number 12.
He don't look like Joe Namath to me.
Tonight he does. I said he looks like Randall Cunningham after that first half.
Wide open. Wow. Austin, what a move. Tavon Austin, give him 4 on the night.
Just blowing the coverage. A total bust in the secondary by Clemson. You can see Sensabaugh arguing his point. Kevin Steele can't wait until this night is over. Left side of your screen, 2 Clemson Tigers are going to cover the same guy, and nobody covers one of the best players in the United States. That's bad defense.
Tavon Austin has just set the Orange Bowl record for most touchdown receptions. Kobe Fleener did it last year with 3. Steve Smith of USC, David Terrell of Michigan, Andre Cooper of Florida State, and he's tied Johnny Rodgers, great Johnny Rodgers of Nebraska. Most touchdowns scored in an Orange Bowl. Add the name Tavon Austin to that list. And back at the Discover Orange Bowl on a record-setting night, and we are only in the 3rd quarter. That touchdown set the record for the most combined points scored in an Orange Bowl. 83. Old record was 79.
Came to the Orange Bowl, and an arena football game broke out. Score after score after score.
It's hard to believe this score.
Hard to believe the quarter in time that goes with the score. Short kick. Jerron Brown got through the trash. Tagged by the kicker, Bettencourt, right around midfield. So a nice job by Brown as we take a look at this touchdown on the DirecTV.
Well, that's a freshman, right? Excuse me, that's a freshman, Stephon Anthony. And he's going to blow this coverage right here. Motion goes, and you see 2 defenders, number 15. Veteran corner Sensabaugh, number 12, a freshman. They leave Austin in the open air, and he's going to the high school dance right there. Beautiful moves.
Great views, courtesy of the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. As Clemson completes one to Adam Humphries. 14th catch of the year for the freshman. Tough night, to say the least. It's not anywhere near over. Boyd on the run, tackled by Bruce Irvin.
He's a favorite, West Virginia. Great story. Junior college out of Atlanta, Georgia. Really made himself into an outstanding football player. Came in here as a safety. Worked himself into a premier pass rusher in college football.
A tough time moving around as that pass is incomplete. Irvin's going to come off the field.
Hey, look at Irvin, how he got hurt there. Shoulder.
Looks like Clemson's going to punt this. The hamstring there on Irvin. It's be another 3 and out for Clemson. It's not been a pretty start to the second half for them. Overall, it's not been a pretty game for Clemson.
A couple of 3 and outs here in this third quarter. Devon Brown back for the punt. Dawson Zimmerman sends it down. Going to be down at the 5. Let's see if they get to 70. Discover Orange Bowl from Miami. Ellington pounding up the middle. And the ball taken out by West Virginia back the other way. The Mountaineers took it out of his hands, and Darwin Cook is racing for a touchdown. How about that turnaround? Oh, man! And the game changed there. What a turnaround to this game it was. About to be a Clemson lead. Instead, West Virginia hasn't stopped scoring.
How about that golden voice, huh, John?
I tell you, man, you do have a gold voice.
You know, you too have problems. It's about time this season ends. I'm ready for Hubie Brown and Dan Dockich. Nice people to work with, you know. How about from out of his own end zone, Smith? Completion. Got to watch ball security there as Austin had it hanging out of the side, but Courtney Brown from out of Charlotte, North Carolina, made the tackle.
And number 3, Stedman Bailey, looks like he really hurt his leg on that go route. They're throwing a bomb out of their own end zone. And take a look at Bailey.
Cramp up.
Could be a cramp.
Yep. Yeah.
Hate to see that. Hope he's all right.
Header Bruce Irvin going to the sideline a moment ago. Similar situation. These long half times, you have that happen often in this game. Sean Alston running out of his own end zone to the 5, a gain of a couple. So last week, Baylor against Washington put up the 67 to set the record for most points in a bowl game. West Virginia has a quarter and a half to try to eclipse that.
The way they're playing and the way they play, this fast break style of offense, they're going to break that record more. They have weapons. Geno Smith has been red hot tonight.
Smith out of his own end zone. Incomplete through the hands of Devon Brown. Jonathan Meeks, who was shaken up in the first half, tried to say he had an interception, but did not.
Well, that Clemson defense finally came up with a stop here in the third quarter. It was a good play call by that West Virginia offense. A little play action fake against that cover 2 defense. A little void in the middle, but the ball just got a little bit away from Geno Smith. Incomplete.
See if Clemson comes after him.
It's the first 3 and out of the game. It'll be the 3rd time Corey Smith punts it away. Hopkins trying to chase it down, got a hand on it. The West Virginia 45, and the Mountaineers were on it with coverage. And no return. Broderick Jenkins tackle, flag comes into the back end. This West Virginia team, 700 wins over their history, never been to this bowl game. First time playing the Orange Bowl, and chance to go 3-0 in BCS games. Well on their way to that.
Personal foul. Returning team number 82. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Drew Taylor's going to take good field position and mess it up. The All-State BCS National Championship game comes your way on Monday night. Coverage throughout the weekend, throughout the day leading up. Our game coverage begins at 8 Eastern time. A couple of Heisman finalists of the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu and Trent Richardson will meet. This See it here on ESPN exclusively. Of course, ESPN 3D as well with the coverage. Pass for Watkins incomplete, read by Pat Miller. Watch ESPN.com, the Watch ESPN app. Todd Blackledge and I will have it for you on ESPN Radio. By the way, happy anniversary to all of our ESPN Radio colleagues. Network went on the air 20 years ago today. Taj Boyd with a middle throw, complete. And Martavis Bennett's back in West Virginia territory. Ian Smith took him down, got most of the penalty yardage back.
There's quite a production call plays on this Clemson sideline. Just watch Chad Morris call the play, and then they have, there's Lisa Salt.
No, it's Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama. I thought it was Lisa for a minute. Look at that. First Lady gets her own play. It's quite a production calling plays here.
Boyd will run for a yard to the 45.
See if they got one of Jaws down there. Look here, they're going to call a play. And you don't know who's signaling. You don't know if it's the offensive coordinator. Look there.
That's the governor. It's Governor Nikki Haley, who's a big West Virginia fan. She's or Clemson fan, I should say. She's an alum.
Better get that team right, Mike.
Recently elected. Incomplete. Nikki Haley's been on the sideline multiple times at Clemson games. And a flag comes in well away from the play on the opposite side as we had the receiver and defensive back continuing 3-4 seconds after the whistle. And Jeff Castile's asking Ian Smith, what are we doing there?
Yeah, it looks like Clemson's beginning to lose their composure a little bit.
Dead ball, personal foul, offense number 83, 15-yard penalty, third down.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense when you're down by 43 points.
All-American tight end Dwayne Allen, the Mackey Award winner.
You'll see him here, number 83 at the end of the play. And usually the guy that pushes last gets a call against him. Dwayne Allen's a heck of a player, though. I'm really impressed watching him, watch him out of practice. He projects nicely to the NFL.
Third and about a quarter of the field. And Boyd will go down as Will Clark chased him down, who had the sack, only sack of the year before this against Rutgers. Here's Lisa on the sideline.
Hey, Mike. Well, remember Clemson started the season 8-0 and then lost 3 of the next 4 games. Players were very honest about what happened. They said they really just started worrying about all the personal stats. Dwayne Allen said he was worried about the Mackey Award, which, like you said, he eventually won. Taj Boyd said people were talking about me and the Heisman, and I was listening. They said they just lost their focus. Well, they've had a month since winning the ACC championship, and what are the chances that maybe they got all caught up in the hype again?
Sometimes through the bowl games, that long period, you don't know how teams come back and respond. But whatever it is, could be myriad reasons.
Well, here's some advice to players out there. Don't pay attention to the negative things that you're reading here, and don't pay attention to all the positive things either. You know, you got to play every week, Jaws. If you want to be a pro football player and get paid to play, as you well know.
You don't want to disrespect this West Virginia performance. They have been magnificent this evening. Great football team tonight.
Well, Paul Millard, the freshman out of Flower Mound, Texas, is coming for the Mountaineers. Gives to Andrew Bowie on the carry, and Bowie's still going again. That's the second time he's done that tonight, where you think Bowie has been stopped, but he was not. He had a play early on in the game that was key for West Virginia.
I think you put Jeff Hostetler in tonight, and he could probably hand off there to get first downs.
There's a lot of new faces out there for Clemson as well on defense. A lot of football left to be played. And West Virginia's gone over 500 yards tonight of total offense. And they're in a full mode substitution already.
65 plays they've run. Incredible performance.
Freshman out of Flower Mound, Texas. Millard takes a shot. Pass incomplete, intended for Ivan McCartney. Cody Sensabaugh in on the coverage. Here's what Geno Smith did. About 2.5 quarters of work. An outstanding season. Capped off with those solid stats. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, although again.
Yeah, those touchdown passes weren't even thrown. They were flipped. They flipped out of his hands. Great performance by the junior, but you got to admit, those touchdown passes to Austin,
Come on.
3 of them were.
You gotta be. There's still plays and they count. He had a heck of a night tonight, John. Come on.
Yes, he did. I'm not saying he didn't.
All right, yeah. Discrediting his touchdown passes. They were short passes, long runs.
Shovel passes. Bowie runs left. 36-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down here at the 4-minute mark.
I like that kid, Geno Smith, Mike. I really do.
I would like to have Geno Smith coming back for another year in this offense with Dana Holgorsen. I don't care what conference West Virginia plays in, Mike, and that's a great story. Where are they going to play? Who are they going to play? When do the schedules come out? That's what I want to know.
Nobody wants to play them.
We'll talk about that in the 4th quarters.
All right, we'll have time.
Here's Millard taking another shot down the field, and the freshman is intercepted by Rashard Hall. 2nd pick of the year for Hall. In his final game as a Clemson Tiger, he takes it to the 41-yard line. So there's a turnover for the Tigers, down 43, and I'd like to see Stedman Bailey get injured here. Just hope that it's a recurrence of the cramps. Freshman Millard.
Nice break by Hall, the safety. Let's see what happened to Stedman Bailey, number 3. He was cramping earlier in this quarter. Hopefully, as you said, it's a reoccurrence of the cramp.
Same deal, the way they're treating him, as Bailey hustled back, trying to make the tackle on Hall. It's the secondary. Syracuse and Pittsburgh moving from the Big East to the ACC, and then West Virginia was looking for another home, and the Mountaineers ended up going to the Big 12. Syracuse and Pittsburgh are kind of waiting in the Big East 27-month term that you have to stay before you can leave. Mountaineers said they want to go right away and have already paid half their $10 million to the Big East to leave right away. The Big East doesn't want them to go right away, and now it's tied up in the courts, both in Rhode Island, where the Big East headquarters are, and in West Virginia. We're waiting to see if one court or the other will come back with a ruling either way. Boyd chased down and brought down just around midfield. Najee good.
Boy. Well, you pin your ears back now and you just attack Taj Boyd, and that's what the Mountaineers are doing. You're starting to see Bruce Irvin, who's their sack master, starting to heat it up a little bit.
Oh, they're rushing 3.
I know.
He's got to have a clock in his head. He can't hold the ball all day back here. He's got to check it down somewhere. It's a 3-man prevent rush.
Pass incomplete. So back to the problems that the whole conference issue with West Virginia brings up. Spoke to Oliver Luck, dad of Andrew Luck, which is now what he'll be known as going forward. Terrific West Virginia quarterback in his day and the athletic director in Morgantown. And he said he's told Dana Holgorsen and the rest of his coaches, prepare as if you're going to be in the Big 12 next year. Tight end Dwayne Allen with the catch at the 40-yard line. Because you have about 19 different schools around the country waiting to find out what's going to happen. The remaining schools in the Big East 7 and the 11 schools in the Big 12 with TCU coming in, plus all the other schools who've scheduled non-league games. West Virginia have a heavier league schedule being in the Big 12. Will those schools in the Big East have to find another opponent if the Mountaineers do end up going to the Big 12? 4th down and 9, and Clemson will go for it here down 43. And they'll pick it up with DeAndre Hopkins for the first down. 28-yard line. I was told by someone tonight we might see schedules to come out sometime soon. We might see West Virginia on both a Big 12 and a Big East schedule when they come out, because the courts have said we'll decide it around June. That's not the timetable you need to schedule a football season. There goes Hopkins again. And DeAndre Hopkins gets to the end zone. Tiger touchdown.
That's a good job after the catch. Pat Miller, number 6, misses a tackle. Then safety Ishmael Banks, a backup into the ball game. Bottom of your screen, ball's going to be thrown quickly into the outside. Miller's got to make this tackle. And then Banks, number 34, whiffs in the open field. And Hopkins is a good receiver. Caught over 100 passes in his first 2 years in Death Valley.
Going to go for 2. And throw back to Sam Cooper, the redshirt freshman tight end, who ends up just short as Darwin Cook makes the tackle.
Darwin Cook made a heck of a play. There were 2 blockers out in front of that screen, and Cook knifed through and made the play.
Sure did.
He might be cramping up a little.
Go for 2 chart doesn't say what to do at 30, down 37. That's why I hesitated. The chart stops at 25. What do you guys think about West Virginia and the Big 12 going forward whenever it happens? And how Dana Holgerson's experience in that league will help?
Oh, it's a huge advantage. He's familiar with it. He's brought that same style of offense to West Virginia. Any team that sees West Virginia is going to have to alter what they do defensively. You may see teams change their recruiting, Mike, when you see teams that run this fast break, high volume offense. You got to find some quicker, faster guys.
I think West Virginia can flourish in any conference. They have a great tradition. Football, basketball. Don't forget Bob Huggins is a great basketball coach. You watch, by the end of the season, they'll be making a run again. They're going to be good in any conference.
You're hopping into basketball now, too?
Well, it's 63 to... I got confused, sorry.
Huggy Bear's team did.
I love Huggins.
Huggy Bear's team did win tonight. Here's of Georgetown, UConn. A couple of important conference games coming up. Tavon Austin again. This time bumps into Bowie, his own man. Moving down shy of 22. Saw Geno Smith come out for the last series. Here's what his night has been like so far.
Beautiful throw on the move.
To see his arm strength, he throws the ball flat-footed and zips it about 30 yards. You see the mobility that he has, quick release. Yeah, I can see those comparisons to Joe Namath, John. You see that ball spinning, coming out quick, on balance. Oh, he's back in the game again. After the interception by Millard, they come back to Geno. Good command of this offense as well, except in that play.
Play clock ran out on him.
Delay of game. Offense, number 12. 5-yard penalty. The down remains first.
Saw the Liner record that was equal to 5 touchdowns. That's the January 2005 year, 2004 season when USC won 55-19, beating Oklahoma. When the Orange Bowl that year was also the championship game. At that point, we didn't have a separate championship game in the rotation. Sean Alston for a gain of about a yard.
This Alston's an interesting story. Hurt his neck in a car crash before the season. Missed the first couple games. Hung in there. Did his treatment. They lose their starting tailback tonight. He ends up having to carry the mail. Good back. Oh, no.
Austin looking for space, just gets to the 20-yard line. That accident you talked about with Sean Alston, Lisa Salters reminds us, was a year ago today. Alston was in a vehicle that was rear-ended by a drunk driver. And he didn't play those first couple of games, but that size gives you the option, tailback and fullback. And one of the big questions and concerns coming into this one for West Virginia was the knee injury to Dustin Garrison, their leading rusher. Would it impact the team on offense? Austin's been the story, but he is shaken up. And official timeout for him. There you look at Garrison, freshman out of Texas. Ran for 742 yards this year. Got injured in the first practice here this week. Knee ligament injury.
You know, this Dana Holgorsen, he's always tinkering with personnel too, Mike. He plays a lot of different people. I remember in their last regular season game against South Florida, he reshuffled the right side of their offensive line. He brought up number 81, J.D. Woods, a wideout, and started him.
Look at Austin.
The injury occurred. It's like he's walking off under his own power.
Well, John, you talked about the right side of that West Virginia offensive line, and to me, that was a big story tonight. They were rolling 4 players in it, right guard and right tackle, and boy, they've done a heck of a job tonight of solidifying that group up front.
Great hand from the West Virginia faithful as Austin came over to their sideline. The left side of the offensive line got moving as Clemson was coming in.
These defensive linemen jump into that neutral zone. They teach these offensive linemen to begin their set. We'll see how this goes. It's going against Clemson.
The last thing you want to do is give West Virginia 5 yards where they've been moving the football tonight.
Offside. Defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty. Down remains 3rd.
Rennie Moore called on the foul. Not the performance in the BCS that Dabo Swinney had hoped for this Clemson team. A team that did not go to a bowl game a year ago. They were 6-7. 4-4 in the ACC Atlantic. And we go to the fourth quarter. 63-26 Mountaineers. Aerial coverage tonight of the 2012 Discover Orange Bowl. West Virginia on top 63-26. The pictures from above provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires that go the distance inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Lisa Salters on the sideline. See what West Virginia's future will be and where it will be in the Big 12 or longer in the Big East. They will represent the conference well if it's their last game in the Big East, as they have the other 2 times in BCS games.
And I see Stedman Bailey, their star wide receiver, back in the game here at the bottom of the screen. Number 3 got hurt earlier. Good to see him back.
All those records. No wonder Bailey's been cramping up here in this 3rd quarter. Screen set up to start the 4th with Bowie. And his 3rd down gain will come up shy. And West Virginia will kick it away. 63 points, not just a BCS record, but also an Orange Bowl record. Alabama scored 61, beating Syracuse in the 1953 Orange Bowl.
I know that hurt you to mention that, Mike.
West Virginia had 63 points in 34 minutes. So
Yeah.
That's a difference. Put that in your asterisk somewhere.
Sammy Watkins back to return. Hasn't been the kind of a breakout night equal of the talents of Watkins, as West Virginia's defense has done a pretty good job. There's an interesting story in that regard that we'll get into on the other side of the break. 50 seconds into the 4th. South Beach calls. SportsCenter will follow our post-game coverage, trophy presentation. Mountaineers on top by 37. West Virginia's 6th straight year they finished 5-2 in the Big East. And we're the co-champions of the league as Taj Boyd spins and turns shy of the 40. One of the good West Virginia performances over these last few years. Jeff Castile has some responsibility for it. Defensive coordinator, been in Morgantown for over a decade now. We have a very unique defense as well.
Yes, it is. Learned this from old Joe Lee Dunn, the old Mississippi State coach. Helped them find a niche in recruiting. They weren't able to find those premier defensive tackles, so they went to the 3-3-5, and it's a flexible front. It gives them some versatility in coverage. It's good against these spread offenses. And Coach Castillo is rumored to be possibly reuniting with Coach Rich Rodriguez, who went to Arizona. Got to keep an eye on this Jeff Castillo. I know they want to keep him in Morgantown. It's been a big part of their success for a long time.
Adam Humphries, a freshman, comes up shy of the first down, just shy of the 45.
Another one of those freshmen that Clemson really likes. They have a very young football team, and you're out of practice watching Adam Humphries that coaches were talking about. He's a little Wes Welker-like as well. Young guy with a big upside.
Taj Boyd going downfield towards his tight end, Dwayne Allen. That's incomplete. We get a flag thrown on the coverage. Elliott Smith over there.
You mentioned Wes Welker a lot tonight. You know, it must be showing everyone how critical that position is. That inside runner, inside catching the ball, over the ball in the hash area. Gotta be
Pass
tough.
interference. Defense number 24. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Ian Smith didn't like the call there.
Play in the West Virginia rally at the end of the season. Blocked a field goal against Cincinnati. Mountaineers, very tight end of the year, winning 3 close games at the end. Come from behind fashion to share the Big East title. Incomplete. Keith Tandy, all-conference corner, had a hand on it.
West Virginia, here comes number 11 back in the ball game. Bruce Irvin, that's another good sign. West Virginia has rushed 3 men on about the last 15 snaps. This is a prevent defense, loaded zone coverages. They are not going to let Clemson have anything over the top. They're going to make them work for every inch and see if this 3-man pass rush can get the Boyd.
The 2nd and 10. Taj is intercepted by Tandy. 13th of his Mountaineer career. In his final game in the WVU blue and gold, Keith Tandy with a pick.
Well, Tandy played it beautifully. Just kept expanding and expanding. Squeezed that window down for Boyd. Boyd tried to throw it in there. Just didn't have any opportunity. You'll see number 8 do a great job. That's Keith Tandy. Just keep moving back. Look at the quarterback's eyes. Locate the football and garner the interception.
You have to wonder about Boyd right there. He's turned the ball over now 3 times. He's really struggled down the stretch this season, taking care of the football. And sometimes when you get a young quarterback with too much confidence, bad things happen. But that's a terrible decision in any situation.
Well, John, you had mentioned they were rushing 3, dropping 8. Sometimes you got to just take those checkdowns and methodically work the ball down the field rather than force throws. I know the score indicates you got to take some chances, but you pay the price when you throw in the coverage.
Delay of game. Offense number 12. 5-yard penalty. The down remains first.
Dabo Swinney did something as an offensive guy that isn't always easy. He gave complete autonomy, and he was a wide receiver coach for his many years at Clemson and Alabama before that. He gave complete autonomy to the offense to Chad Morris when he came in. And has become more of a CEO head coach. Tavon Austin still running, still going. Austin having a phenomenal bowl performance, MVP bowl performance, shy of midfield.
You know, Mike, Clemson didn't play well tonight, but Dabo Swinney's an outstanding coach. You're around this guy, you talk to his players, people around the Clemson program. They know this guy has his team moving in the right direction. They're a young team. You know, this was disappointing tonight, but they'll learn from it. Bubble screen, bubble screen, bubble screen. Very effective tonight for West Virginia.
Look at Austin. 11 catches, 117 yards, and 100 of it is after the catch. That's hard to believe if that's accurate.
Yeah, well,
I've never seen that before.
Well, it's all the short passes.
He got 117 yards and 100 after the catch.
Well, every one of his touchdowns was like a 1-yard throw. It was a shovel pass.
You were just complaining about it, John.
I don't know how you tackle this kid. He's a joker in this offense. They've put him in the backfield. They've used him in the slot. They've used him as a return man. He's one of the top 5 all-purpose yardage leaders in the country. It's great that he had this platform tonight to show his stuff to America. He's coming back next year. West Virginia could be real exciting on offense again.
Could be. They will be.
The prism of what kind of a national impact they would have certainly changes if you end up in the Big 12 compared to the Big East. There's Sean Alston with the carry. He gets to the 35-yard line.
Just have to wonder where this front 4 of Clemson is tonight. They just come storming off that right side, right at Clemson.
You got Andre Branch and Brandon Thompson, a couple defensive linemen projected as first-round picks. Been invisible for the most part tonight. Give credit to that West Virginia offensive line. They have been stout.
Run Alston toward the left for about a gain of 4. Guys, you mentioned Dana Holgerson, injured Mountaineer here. And their center, second-team All-Big East center, Joe Madsen. Timeout for him for a second. He's limping off. Well, you mentioned Dana Holgerson and where he's been over the last few years with Houston for a couple of seasons. With Case Keenum, and Keenum this year led Football Bowl subdivision in passing yards, and then Brandon Whedon was 3rd. He was with Whedon at Oklahoma State before coming to West Virginia, and Geno Smith 6th. So Holgerson's hands on 3 of the top 6 quarterbacks in passing yards per game this year. Madsen back down on the ground for a moment. Athletic trainers out to look at him, so we'll step out for a second.
ESPN College Football, the Discover Orange Bowl, is brought to you by Discover, the official card of the Discover Orange Bowl. The Ford F-150, available with the efficiency and power of EcoBoost. And Taco Bell, think outside the bun.
We're back in South Florida as the injured player Joe Madsen limped off with the training staff. West Virginia leading 63-26. Here in the Discover Orange Bowl. The actual building itself, known as the Orange Bowl, will be a baseball stadium later on this year as the Florida Marlins open in their new facility in that stadium. Here's Tavon Austin by the Miami Marlins. Passing complete. Miami Marlins, brand new, beautiful stadium that'll open coming up here at the March, start of April. That old Orange Bowl is one of the great stadiums of all time. Memorable games, memorable Orange Bowls themselves. That place rocked.
It looked like an erector set when you went up to it. Right? Did have some history, though.
Many great memories and great moments. Over the decades, Stedman Bailey the catch. Out of an arm tackle and a first down at the 22-yard line as we're under 10 minutes.
Look at that Orange Bowl. Joe Namath, his name came up a couple times tonight. That's where he led his New York Jets to a Super Bowl victory. The Baltimore Colts. This turned around the face of professional football. The landscape of professional football changed after that game.
This is the game that America found out a bit more about Joe Namath. The 65 Orange Bowl, lost to Texas. Got to come from behind.
Rallied his team, but didn't get it done.
Joe Namath, if you're listening, your ears are probably burning if they're not. We talked about you a lot today.
West Virginia still has a chance to set the record for most points in a bowl game by a team. Wow. Tavon Austin stopped on a dime and got restarted.
You see what he did to Breland right there? He just shows you so much creativity whenever he touches the ball. Dana Holgerson said when he has the ball, he's just magnificent. They'd like to see him improve without the ball in his hands. But watch this move against Breland, number 17. I don't know if Breland touches him.
Barely.
Hard to coach that
guy. Wow. Who's not your favorite player, huh, John?
He is tonight. He's my MVP.
Bar High School, Baltimore, Maryland. Had 11 catches for 100 87 yards against LSU, against Morris Claiborne and Tyrann Mathieu. That outstanding secondary. Alston stopped a couple yards shy of the first down.
Clemson just hasn't tackled well at all tonight, Mike. That time another missed tackle in the hole. And sometimes with these long layoffs, you can use it as an excuse. I don't think the tackling will be real shoddy when LSU plays Alabama. The two best tackling teams I've seen in college football in a while.
Clemson came out here a couple days early to get some extra work in, and certainly hasn't paid off.
Watch, they're going to come storming out of this huddle inside of 7 seconds. So many different tempos that they can run, Mike.
Alston up the middle of the first down as he's looking for a third touchdown run on the night.
This is what Dana Holgorsen has added to his repertoire. When he left Texas Tech, they were a high-octane offense. But when he went to Houston, he put it in a no-huddle environment. And watch him come out of this huddle. They're going to milk this clock all the way down to about 12 seconds. And they're going to come storming out of here together and then snap the ball quickly. It's another form of this Dana Holgorsen tempo. Watch this. They're going to use all this clock. Here they come.
You see the clock tick down, 11.
Clemson
10.
can't line up.
Alston runs to the 7. It's a much different method in pro football with the helmet communication from the play caller to the quarterback. So here it has to be a series of hand signals or wristbands. With Holgorsen, it's hand signals.
There's no wristbands on Geno Smith's arms at all. It's all hand signals, and that gives the receivers the formation. They'll get the play. Geno will echo it to the offensive lineman.
And the defensive side, you've got to watch and wait to see what they're doing and try to make a call. And you have to have a veteran, experienced guy to help make the calls on the field on his own to maximize your impact. Lob for the end zone for Bailey, incomplete with Sensabaugh covering.
Sensabaugh's done a nice job all night. Yep. They've got most of their work done on the other side. Here's Sensabaugh one-on-one with Bailey. Nice job with his inside hand. Wheels his head around. Excellent coverage by Sensabaugh. I like him.
You know, we're starting to see in the NFL some of these speed offense pass concepts that we see now at the collegiate level. You look at New Orleans and Atlanta and New England. That speed offense, very effective. Some of these things that we're seeing at the collegiate level now, the pros are starting to pick up. Some good things happening at this level. Here's your play, John.
Willie Millhouse on the flip and into the record books. West Virginia, the highest scoring bowl game in history.
Is that a touchdown pass?
Yeah, that's a touchdown pass, John. This play may go to the Hall of Fame after this game. This thing has worked all night long against this Clemson defense.
Wow, 5 touchdown passes that haven't been thrown out of the backfield. I mean, that's like playing patty cake in the backyard with your son. Unbelievable how that play has just ruined Clemson's bowl experience.
And Geno Smith has set a new BCS record, and we say this with a smile and a wink. 6 touchdown passes in a game, most in a BCS game.
Don't say we, you and John are winking.
A bowl record, you've never seen that in the postseason. 70 points.
Coming soon, baby. It's showtime.
It was quite a show put on by the junior from Dunbar High School, Baltimore, Maryland, Tavon Austin. And it was second in the nation in all-purpose yards, and even on this hard-to-keep-your-footing turf, Austin made those trademark moves that we've seen all year and has helped lead West Virginia to a record-setting performance tonight, 70 points. .280 all-purpose yards and 4 touchdowns. After his name being written down as the MVP ballots being passed out to members of the media. Brown able to, for the second time tonight, keep a return alive and take it to the 45-yard line. So Monday night, we'll wrap up the college season, the game for it all. Crystal ball will be handed out. I think the Superdome's going to be any kind of crazy. Number 1 LSU, number 2 Alabama. Let's host the All-State BCS National Championship game on ESPN, ESPN 3D. Watch ESPN app and ESPN radio coverage all week. College football live down there with Chris Fowler, Todd Blackledge, Kirk Herbstreit down there today with the guys, David Pollock, Desmond Howard, Todd McShay. Everybody be down there. We look forward to joining them this weekend. Quite a weekend in New Orleans, guys. Saints have their playoff game on Saturday at the All-State Sugar Bowl a couple of nights ago, last night. And the championship game on Monday.
That Saints offense is really rolling right now, and guys, woo, not quite like West Virginia, but they're rolling.
Tyus Boyd throwing on the run. It was almost 77 and 7 going back the other way.
Yeah, Boyd has really struggled clearly with this 3-5-3 defense here in the second half. And I mean a 3-man rush. 5 underneath, 3 deep, 2 deep, 6 underneath, mixed up coverages. Young quarterback clearly struggling right now.
Redshirt sophomore who committed to West Virginia. As he throws an incompletion on third down. He committed March 2008, and in watching the offense, the way that was progressing, Boyd decommitted. He was going to end up going to Tennessee, and then they were having their coaching change and felt that with Phil Fulmer leaving there, the offense that he was looking for didn't fit his wants, with Lane Kiffin coming in more of a pro-style offense. So he visited Oregon, visited Ohio State. Dabo Swinney got in late in the process, able to get Boyd to come to Death Valley. And he's done a good job setting offensive records this year at Clemson, but tonight a big-time struggle. We'll be down at the 7 with 5:38 remaining. The Discover Orange Bowl, record-setting night for the Mountaineers. This game has set the record for the most combined points in any of the BCS bowls, and he's seen a lot of it. The great views tonight, courtesy of the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam, and that's been the guy who's been a pleasure to watch. Fast speed, slow-mo, super slow-mo. Tavon Austin.
Stole the show tonight, didn't he?
Hard to believe he only had 4 touchdowns receiving this year. And 1 rushing, 4 here tonight. Andrew Bowie popping pads and taking it out to the 18-yard line.
This is a 175-pound back. See if you can just hear the pads pop.
Playing like it's the first play of the game. You got to love that out of this young man. This late in the game, playing hard, knocking people down.
He's a freshman. Whew. Everybody's coming back here in West Virginia.
It'll be interesting to see if the Mountaineers end up in the Big 12 sooner or later. How much will it impact their recruiting base? They've long been a school to use Maryland, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Western PA. It's just an hour drive from Pittsburgh on I-79 to Morgantown.
It's a pretty fertile recruiting area there, Mike. I don't know, West Virginia is very successful there, but that area, Western Pennsylvania, Northeast Ohio, Delaware, down to Maryland, good high school football program.
Well, the issue he's going to have is if they're playing in the Big 12, so many of their games are going to be in Texas and Oklahoma, and no longer a drive to places like Rutgers, even Louisville, Cincinnati, Syracuse in the conference. So what will the base of recruiting be? Holgerson has a lot of great ties in the state of Texas, where they do so much of the 7-on-7 year-long pitch-and-catch football that has become predominant in college football, the high school level in those camps during the summer, and right here. Paul Millard, the number 2 quarterback, handing on this drive. Flip it over to Clemson and Dabo Swinney. Jaws mentioned in the first half all the recruiting that they have done very successfully. Matter of fact, there was a point a few years ago where Dabo had been involved in the recruitment of nearly half of the scholarship players that Clemson had. He's a phenomenal recruiter, sends a great message, and has really improved the image of Clemson football, which Tommy Bowden was doing before when Dabo was on his staff and replaced him as the interim coach middle of the 08 season. So despite this major disappointment tonight, this is a program that's in the right direction as they head to 2012. They open up with Auburn in the Georgia Dome to start next season. That pass is incomplete through the hands of Coley White.
Well, White had a chance to make a catch. Obviously disappointed. Coach Holgerson gives him a little pat on the back. If that had been a meaningful play, it would have been a pat on the back.
Not from Dana Holgerson, who's been known to rip a player or two,
Yeah.
fire back his sugar-free Red Bulls during the game. He said,
I like this guy, I do.
He said he uses that to get his energy, but he said he also is a coffee drinker like every other football coach under the sun, it seems. Punt away from Corey Smith, and the big rush forced him to get rid of it quick. It's only a 17-yard punt, as Marty Aronoff tells us. Our spotter Mike Black hands me the card to remind you of Arkansas State, future home of Gus Malzahn as head coach, taking on Northern Illinois, the GoDaddy.com Bowl, last bowl before the championship game. So Sunday night, 9 Eastern, after you bang around watching NFL action, the playoffs, get a chance to watch one more game. Get ready for Monday night, Arkansas State at Northern Illinois.
New quarterback, Cole Stout.
True freshman, Stout, handing to Roderick McDowell. As the backups come in, and McDowell gets thrown down by Keith Tandy.
That's form tackling right there. You see, I mentioned Cole Stout in the game. His dad, Cliff Stout, has a number of Super Bowl rings from backing up Terry Bradshaw with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Also a quarterback I recruited at Youngstown State back in the early 70s. What a lineage here.
Played here with Miami, played with the Cardinals as well as McDowell, the sophomore, takes it out of bounds with 2:21 to go.
I believe Cole Stout, Dublin, Ohio, same high school Brady Quinn went to.
Yep.
And Boyd struggled tonight, clearly in the second half. A lot of turnovers that really doomed Clemson. I think it's wise to get Stout some playing time on.
I agree with you, John.
True freshman took 65 snaps in 5 games. Just handing here. Again, it's McDowell out of Sumter, South Carolina. Mentioned Stout breaking those Brady Quinn records at Kaufman High School in Dublin. Nearly 4,400 yards and 52 touchdowns. Most of the ranking services had him as a quarterback in the mid-20s coming out. A little bit of game experience his freshman year, and he'll head into spring ball and see significant more time. Pass incomplete. Just sad time for the Clemson fans. They had hoped to relive the glory of this game 30 years ago, played in the original Orange Bowl Stadium. The only national championship won by Clemson. Danny Ford, the coach, very young coach back in 1981.
Had a cup of coffee with Danny Ford today. Coach Ford looking great. Still farming out in South Carolina.
Farming?
Yep.
Yeah, very cool.
Big farmer. Stout taking off. They'll come down to 5. Right near that first down, 1:22 to go.
And again, I go back, Mike, to these fifth-year seniors at West Virginia who've been through 3 different head coaches. What an exclamation point on their careers. Guys like Julian Miller.
Roll run for McDowell for the corner. And that takes us over 100 points in the game here tonight.
Did you say over 100 points, Mike?
Yes.
Wow.
0-2. Still 21 shy of the Baylor-Washington game. They put up 123 the other night.
We talked about this pedal to the metal, high-volume offense by both teams. West Virginia's run 87 plays and Clemson 74. Boy, these teams just pile up the yards with offensive plays.
Yeah, 161 points, over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, they're sneaking up. They're sneaking up.
That's what I like. It's Lyman, Barkley, the left tackle, guys that can handle the Gatorade properly. There's Rader, the other tackle.
Set the screen for him, and go get him.
Got him.
It's a great moment. Great moment for West Virginia.
And they love football there. Just look out there at those fans, Mike. A lot of West Virginia fans that made this trip are still bunched together. They're thrilled with Dana Holgorsen and the outcome of this bowl game. Look at those fans. They're not leaving. They're going to stay for the last minute and one.
Yeah, they're going to get that trophy presentation.
Reese Davis will be doing that down on the field here.
I hope they're celebrating right next to your room tonight. You know,
you'll see the trophy presentation on the Ford BCS postgame show coming up next.
Yeah, you're relentless.
You're on ESPN. They are great fans. Many a trip down to Morgantown. Some backyard brawls. Watch some terrific football games and players over the years. We mentioned Don Nealon, West Virginia coach for a long time. We're going to get Jeff Castile now. Yeah, we got the defensive coordinator as well. A little pooch kick. It's a live ball, but knocked out of bounds. Rashad Breeland went tumbling looking for the ball. He gets up okay. And who knows if Jeff Castile will be joining Rich Rodriguez at Arizona. You'll hear all that moving and shaking over the next few days or so. But no matter what, his 3-3-5 defense and the defensive effort as a whole by West Virginia, very good. Stumped the quarterback Boyd tonight.
Pretty hard to leave this West Virginia program right now. It looks pretty darn good. It's really ascending.
I agree with you.
The Big East, for all the lumps the Big East takes over the years, the Big East has represented itself far better than the ACC in these BCS games. ACC going to fall to 2-13 in BCS games.
Geno Smith returns to Miami, where he played high school football with a 70.6 touchdown night. He couldn't script it any better.
Last snap in the books. And if it is the Mountaineers' farewell to the Big East, they do it with a bang. And Dana Holgorsen's very unique route to his first ever season as a head coach ends on a very high platform. A bowl record 70 points scored by the Mountaineers on a night where the team and a lot of the individuals rewrite the record books of one of the oldest and most tradition-rich bowls in the sport. Clemson's season will end at 10-4. And here's Lisa Salters with the victorious head coach.
Thanks, Mike. Coach, 70 points you put up on the board, a bowl record. How did you make it look so easy? First, were you going for the record?
No. There's nothing easy about that now. Clemson's a great team. They've had an unbelievable year. You know, our guys just came in, and I think we're playing a little bit better when our backs are against the wall. Not too many people gave us credit, and the guys wanted to come in and kind of make a statement, and the only way you can do that is if you play on all three sides of the ball.
How could you tell that your tempo was hurting them?
Well, it's been an emphasis for us. You know, we've had a hard time all year getting the tempo going. And it's dangerous to get it. It's dangerous, the tempo, if you're not being very good with it. And we just kind of emphasized it here over the course of the last 15 practices and got better at it.
What impact did that fumble recovery return for a touchdown have on the game?
Yeah, that amplified what we've been telling them for the last 2 months, which is regardless of what happens, just keep playing. And defense gave up a long drive, but they just kept playing. and they ended up getting a turnover on the goal line, which turned the game.
And the guys are still trying to figure out that one play that was so successful for multiple touchdowns. It's recorded as a pass, but it kind of looks as a volleyball kind of tap toss. What is that?
Well, my good friend Bob Stead at Colorado School of the Mines gave me that, which basically it's you know, we toss it to them, and if we drop it, it's an incomplete pass. So it's actually a safe play.
What message did you want to send with this win tonight? 70 points again, Coach.
Well, just, you know, the seniors have done such a good job all year long. They were put in a bad situation. They've been through a lot in their career at West Virginia. And, you know, they just wanted to lay the groundwork for where we're headed as a football program. And, you know, I can't imagine it being any brighter than it is right now. I think the future's pretty bright at West Virginia.
Thank you, and congratulations to you, Coach.
Thank you, Lee.
Mike.
All right, all you coaches, we clinic out at the Colorado School of Mines. It's a great-looking play. A little bit off of Lee Grosscup's old shovel pass at Utah with a great wrinkle. And performed to perfection on a night, as our friend Tony Carini likes to say, it's great to be a Mountaineer.